shit.
It's Too T3rpd.
All right. First question. Freestyle?
Yeah, let's go for it.
No, you.
Yeah, I'm going for it.
Oh, go.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
All right. Yeah. Sitting with the homies, and we smoking roaches, and we talking roaches. What else we supposed to be doing? Yeah, you know, I'm just gonna prove to everybody that I'm an artist that I'm meant to be. Yeah, so spark up the heat, man. Roll up the bleezy. You know this shit is just so easy. Yeah, and I might be a little cheesy because I'm white, but it's all right because I know what I'm doing on this mic. There you go.
Hey, that might be a top of the best one so far.
I'll take it, man.
What did you get ready to say?
Oh, that was solid.
Yeah. For real though.
I appreciate it, man. I actually used to rap for a little while.
Okay.
Yeah, went by Leo. Yeah.
Leo.
And that didn't really, that's my birth sign. So.
Okay.
Am I really into the whole astrological thing anymore? Not so much, but I got the tattoo Leo on my chest and everything, and it was fun for a while.
Shit.
Yeah. I had a phase, you know.
I like it.
It's like riding a bike, you know.
Yeah, you never forget. That's right.
Right.
What you get on there?
People are starting to know now.
Exactly. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Come ready.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Come prepared. Yeah, I like this.
Right on.
We're going to have to spit some bars eventually, yo.
No.
Oh, shit. All right, let me do the introduction. My fault, y'all. All right, this is the Too T3rpd Podcast, and it's your boy Donovan, a.k.a. Mr. You Knew What It Was when you signed up.
It's Lila, your grow girl from Grow Gear, a.k.a. Lila Midwest.
Because she does it best.
We got No Socials T, the biggest hypocrite on the IG.
Oh, that's right.
Inspired me over there with the rap.
Right on, man.
That's fucking fire. a.k.a. Tyler Farquaad.
Oh, boy.
Make the lady say, "Oh God." Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Use that one later.
Yeah, no problem. Got that. All right, y'all. Shit, that's right. Okay, so
Sure.
before we go any further, let me introduce you. All right, so I've been knowing my man for a while now, right?
Yeah, man. It's got to be like 7 years or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Shit, around the same time that this came about, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Since the first guy, thought about, the cauldron was bubbling,
Hell yeah. So what we're talking about today, y'all can't see it yet, but when y'all see the video on Patreon, make sure y'all sign up. You can see the comic strip of Roaches.
Roaches, man. Yeah. Yeah, man. It's been a long time coming. It started as, a senior thesis essentially at my art program, in college, fine art. And it was funny. I actually was a painting major, but in my senior thesis, I was like, I want to do something different. I just want to create a comic from scratch, And they're like, sure, why not? At that point, they gave you complete creative freedom, and I was like, let's do this. So I thought about this idea. I made panels and, faux covers, and I even painted old animation cells and shit. And it kind of just, fell off to the wayside after a while because life, but it was always there in the back burner.
All right. Now, let me kick off the rest of this introduction. Now
Yes,
that
sir.
you did the introduction, now you did that part. So, he had all that. And so, when I first saw it, I was like, yo, I got to get this. Can I get a print?
Yeah.
So, we got a mutual friend, and she ended up hooking it up for me. Shouts out, yo. You the best.
Yes, sir.
Best for that. And so, all these years later, I told him, back then, I was like, yo, if you make this out of anything, let me know, because I'm trying to be a part of this shit.
Oh, yeah.
Now, look, here we are.
Yeah,
Now
man.
And say the name again.
What's that? My name or PanNerdia?
Well,
I-
yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say it. Are we saying your actual name or just?
Yeah, we can say my name. Yeah, Aaron. And then of PanNerdia. That's my publishing company that I'm starting from the ground up. So, yeah, man, pretty exciting shit.
Yeah, give it up.
Yeah.
Oop. All right, there we go.
Yeah, nice. I like the applause there. It's pretty tight.
Yeah, you know that big ass audience over there. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
right. Hey, thanks, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, don't act like you don't see them.
How would
Right up
you
there in the
describe
balcony.
this for people that can't see it? Like, how would you describe it?
Yeah.
So roaches, yeah. So it's essentially, think of like modern day Ninja Turtles, right? They're sentient cockroaches who smoke roaches, right? But the whole story revolves around their impending doom, their apocalypse, via the exterminator, right? Now, over the years, it's kind of developed more. I've added a human essence to it. A main character is named Enoch. He gets shrunk down into the roach world and has to help them survive their pending apocalypse, with a bunch of mystery and twists and turns around every corner to kind of figure out how he got shrunk down, the house that he's in, because these roaches, they're not, they're the only sentient roaches in the world. There's no other roaches like them. All the other ones are just like the ones you see anywhere else. But these ones are something special. So, yeah, it's just, it's an action adventure. It's a comedy. It's, it got some mystery to it. And a lot of it's rooted in just stuff that I've experienced in my life, from, dealing with different religions growing up to, the copious amount of marijuana I've smoked since I was, freshman in high school, to, just really commenting on humans in general, who in my mind are cockroaches.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying? That's the biggest commentary. It's like, humans, they persevere through everything. They're resilient as fuck. Even if there is some crazy shit that happens, say it's natural disaster or we all end up blowing each other up, humans will survive. There will be a pocket of humans somewhere on the planet that will come out from the woodwork and continue to live on. So in a lot of ways, we are just like cockroaches.
That's a fact.
Yeah, man. So that's kind of it in a nutshell, without getting too nerdy,
Hey, man, we've had a nerd episode before, so there ain't nothing new to the audience. We can nerd out a little bit.
Right on, man. It's the nerd culture's really popped up a lot over the last 10 years. I think it's not like getting pushed into lockers anymore. It's like they're standing tall because everything's
because they own it all. Shit.
Right. Yeah, all the art, everything. I mean, shit. I mean. Yeah, even just with bud, people are nerds about marijuana nowadays.
Yeah, for real.
So it's just it's cool, man. The word, the stigma behind the word is now just grown to you just being super passionate about something.
Yeah, that's true.
That's being a nerd, and I'm proud of it.
Yep.
So,
hell yeah,
sure, man.
So break that down. PanNerdia.
PanNerdia. So that name, it all started when I wanted to create my own YouTube channel and Twitch channel and kind of get my stuff out there. Now, original content wasn't really there yet, right? I wanted to just get me out there as a nerd. And PanNerdia, essentially, is derived from the word panspermia, if you guys have ever heard of it before.
No.
It's yeah, right, I know, right? It's got that little special word in the middle there. But it's essentially the whole concept behind the word is the idea, the theory that Earth was, life on Earth came from somewhere else. Whether it was sent from an intelligent life, or species, or just floated through the galaxy on an asteroid, and when it hit, life was started, and mainly through fungus, because mushrooms and fungus they can live through the vacuum of space. So theoretically, it could have came from anywhere in space, hit our planet, and that's what sparked life here on Earth. Was life from somewhere else. So the whole idea with PanNerdia is, I'm way out there, the way I think is way out there, and I'm coming to you, and I'm going to expose you to all this nerdy shit my way. I'm going to introduce it. I'm going to populate your planet with, my fungus, which sounds bogus as hell, but the word works, PanNerdia, and I was like, that sticks. I feel like people can remember that name. And despite the weird origin story of it,
it fits the name. Right. It's a nerd shit. So hey,
right, and that's where it ran. And then from the whole original, YouTube and Twitch stuff, and doing Let's Plays and movie reviews and things like that, it eventually got to the point where I was like, okay, now it's time for original content. Mm-hmm. And what better original content than my baby Roaches?
Hell yeah.
So that's where I was like, I got to start pushing that, and I can stream me making that art on Twitch. I stream myself painting, all my anime paintings and stuff, and I would go to anime conventions and sell my art there and stuff, and it's all fun and games, but painting somebody else's work essentially, fan art, it's fun, but it's not. Where am I going to go from there? Right, it's you can only go so far. Eventually, you start getting copyright strikes because people are like, "Hey, you're making too much money off, doing my art." Mm-hmm. So it was I need to do my own thing. I need to really just hit the ground running and really push towards what I want. And that's where like pandemic hit, and it was kind of a perfect storm. And Roaches, I put the time into it, man. Now I'm on my way to really making it a real thing,
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
So if you wanted this, how did you know about it?
Oh, because how did I end up actually seeing it?
I'm trying to think. Well, did you come to my senior show? I can't remember. I don't know if you were there with Alyssa.
Was it off of Cherokee?
Oh, there was a show off Cherokee, another art show that I did show my Roach stuff at.
That's where it was.
Like,
yep.
Yeah, because at the time, I had several different art shows going on, and I basically just, all I really had to show was all my crazy Roach artwork to show, and yeah, that definitely was it.
Yep, that was. Because as a matter of fact, that's where I got that painting from.
Oh, really? That one too? Right on, man. Sweet. Yeah, it was Cherokee Print Bazaar, I'm pretty sure is what the one was. Or it might have been our own show we did down there. It was called Jankum. It was... You guys ever heard of Jankum? Mm-mm. It's some drug from some third world country.
Oh, yeah, I have heard of this.
Yeah, people basically like breathe shit out of a bag and get high as fuck. Yeah,
like
weird.
Actual shit.
Actual shit, yeah,
right.
yeah. Not just like, just some random shit. Like actual poo-poo in a bag.
I've
They
heard
get
about
high.
this.
And we were just, weird, grungy artists, and we were like, let's just call our show Jankum. It's grungy, it's weird, it will get people in, And, yeah, it might have been that show, who knows? But, yeah, and then...
Drew the crowd. Came out. Donovan came out. Yep.
Right.
Hell yeah.
And then we'd hang out and we'd be drinking or something, and you kept telling me how much you liked it, the concept of it. And I remember explaining it to you then. And the story's changed, I would say, quite a bit since then. But those 4 characters there, they're still in the comic.
Hell yeah.
So,
so they're like a little crew. They're the Roach crew.
They're the Roach crew. Yeah, exactly. And now, like I said, there's a human element. Enoch, he's kind of based off me. And he's in there too, because I figured, I have to add somewhat of a human element.
Mm-hmm.
People will relate to that better in that fashion, right? So, yeah, man. And then, Alyssa came over one time when I was living down in South City, and she was coming to buy some artwork for your birthday, and I was like, well, I know he likes this, and she's like, yep, that's it. And then I told you too, and I was like, you keep that, man, because one day it's gonna be worth a lot of money. I promise it.
And real shit though, I really do stand by that because this shit is fucking fire, y'all.
I mean, he had a frame. I walked in, it's framed on his wall and shit. I'm like, dude, that's so cool. Like, just to see your own artwork framed on somebody else's wall, that's, as an artist, it's always something you want to look for. Like, it brings a smile to my soul, just to see that my art is in somebody's house.
Yep.
It makes me feel really good, man. So I really appreciate that.
Nah, man. I appreciate you for letting me have it, for real, man.
Yeah, it's a big deal, but I knew it was going in the right hands. I knew it wasn't just going to get tossed under a bed or thrown away or whatever. I knew it was going to somebody who appreciated it and was going to keep it safe. So, and that's all that counts, man. So
that's cool.
Yeah.
So it's PanNerdia across all platforms then.
Yeah, PanNerdia on Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, YouTube. PanNerdia.
Never been on Twitch, really.
I haven't either. I wanted to ask a bunch of questions about it.
Twitch is fun, man. It's and there's people stream so much different shit on Twitch. I mean, they have podcasts. They have in real life where they're just people are cooking or playing cards. There's obviously tons of video games, right? People do Let's Plays, whether it's competitive or they're being funny while they do it. Now there's like hot tub category where chicks are just in a hot tub basically. Talking.
They're probably making the most money on the platform.
Probably. I wouldn't argue that.
That's gonna be our next set.
What?
Hot tub
podcast. Yeah.
Oh.
I mean, if I could get
machine.
I mean, if I get the place that I want, it's got one in there already. So
I'll do the research how to set the stage up for it.
Cool. All right.
Yeah. And there's also art on Twitch. So like all over the board, people painting, people doing digital art, creating art for people's channels, whether it's banners or emotes or this. There's people who are painting the little figures for the Warframe or whatever that game is. There's people making leather works all over the board. Unfortunately, though, they kind of do art dirty on Twitch to where it's just one category, art. Like a video game, like say Fortnite is its own category.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So art, on average, there might be 20,000 people watching the art category. And that's split up between all the people streaming art at the same time. You'll see, the biggest, streamer probably has maybe 300 to 500 people watching them live, which compared to everybody else who's playing video games and shit, they have thousands of people, and no disrespect to my man Bob Ross, all right, but he's got a channel on Twitch and he gets all the views in the art section.
I thought he died.
He did, and that's why I don't think he should be on Twitch.
Hold on.
Yeah, that's
Hold on.
I don't want to be rude, but I'm just saying.
I ain't hating, but you gotta drop a bomb for that. You dead and you still got shit popping. That's kind of lit. I ain't gonna lie. That's kind of lit.
Yeah, and it's like he's on Netflix still. I'm sure he's still on like Channel 9 and shit. He's everywhere, and then he's got to come into Twitch and
How?
elbow
He on some
everybody out of the way.
He on some Tupac shit, yo.
Yeah, right. And he still has, and he's like reaching like 1,500 people every time he's on. I'm like,
Fucking hologram Bob Ross painting little happy trees. I don't get
it's just
it.
all reruns. It's all. It is.
That's kind of lit, yo. I ain't gonna
They just
lie.
run reruns, and he gets the most art views.
Yo, that's like a rapper flex, yo. They still fucking with my old shit while y'all still trying to get on with your new shit. Hey!
I mean, dude, there's a dude on there who just has his camera on a jar of peanut butter and gets more views than me. So it's wild. It's the Wild West out there on Twitch, man.
But see. I'll be all right with that because he probably doing some really freaky shit for that jar of peanut butter to get all them views, bro.
Right.
Yeah, you don't know what he does with the jar of peanut butter.
Yeah,
now.
before he puts it on, in the lights. Yeah. I don't want to think about it.
See, that's what I'm saying.
That's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's cool. YouTube's similar though. You can do YouTube Live just like Twitch. It's.
I feel like Twitch has a bigger audience even at this point. Do you think?
Yeah, I would say, but it's always kind of going back and forth because,
Clip it.
especially of lately too, because of Twitch. There's controversy in because you can be a partner on Twitch. I'm an affiliate on Twitch. I've worked hard to get that. I technically make money through Twitch. It's very little ad revenue, and I can get people to donate to me and stuff. And it's cool and all, but to be a partner is when you made it to the big leagues on Twitch. But now they just announced like a couple months ago that they're cutting ad revenue for partners, the ad revenue share.
Really?
Yeah, so
Just like cutting the percentage down?
yeah, like the split or whatever. It used to be like, I think it was 50-50. Now it's like 60-40, and they get the 60. So so it's like it doesn't have. There's not a lot of incentive there now to be a partner. It's already hard as fuck to be partner status. You have to have like an average of 75 viewers over a month. That means like 75 or more per stream you do.
Okay.
You have to have a certain amount of hours and all that. And then even if you meet those requirements, you still have to have like an interview with them, and they can determine like, oh, you're not ready this time, and then you got to try to get those numbers again for another month.
Really?
Yeah. So they're making it hard, and then like I said, the incentive's not there with, people not getting the same cut as they used to. Now people who, they're like, fuck it, I'm not going to even try to be a Twitch partner. I'm just going to go over to YouTube and stream and have better chances. So it's kind of pick your poison at that point,
Yeah, most definitely.
Interesting. So we just lit up this you call it a blunt still, but it's a hemp wrap.
Yeah, high hemp wraps. They're real nice, but yeah.
It hits good.
Yeah, it's nice. It's nice and smooth.
Yeah, you know how I roll a little bit. I'll give it to you.
Yeah, I mean, in general, my blunts, I never roll like super crazy fatties because, if I need to, I can just roll another blunt. I don't need to roll 3 blunts in one in that sense.
I feel you.
That way you can hit it, feel good. Hey, do you want to roll another one? Sweet, let's twist another one up. But, yeah, I call myself I can roll some pearls, I would say.
I love a blunt. I never roll them anymore, but I like when they show up.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice little change of things,
Yeah, it's like a rarity to get blunts and all that around here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, compared to joints and anything else, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like every 1 in 10.
Yeah.
1 in 10 or 15
Right.
is a blunt.
Hey, it's interesting, yeah, because you can either be a joint person or a blunt person, and it's like, I grew up smoking blunt or joints because it was a GC thing, Grand City thing, and I don't know, maybe I've just lost my taste for them. I'm not the biggest fan of the joint paper taste. I know some people would argue, oh, you can taste the weed better with a joint. I would argue different. Now, of course, you can have those crazy fruity blunt papers that just totally ruin the taste of the bud.
Right.
But what's nice about these high hemps, since they're so light, I feel like you can taste the bud. You get a little touch of flavor from the wrap, but you're not getting that tobacco flavor.
Yeah,
and they burn slow. I feel like joints burn so quick.
True. I like it.
I feel like blunts, like the swishers and all that shit, they fuck me up. I feel like it's the tobacco element to it.
High,
Yeah, it's like you're smoking almost like a spliff in a way, especially because those swishers and white owls and all that, like whatever they spray on those, like the chemicals and shit, it just. I was saying before this, like it kind of bogs you down. You get that post blunt like drag where you're like, I don't feel as good as I wanted to off that.
It'll rip up your throat too.
That too, yeah. It definitely does. But something about these high hemps, they're just nice. They're natural. They're hemp. Got a little CBD in them. Does that do anything to me? I can't tell. But
they say whether you realize it or not.
Yeah,
it's giving you medical benefit. Yep.
It's good to know though.
I figured we do a little pre-up before we actually did the real competition of the joint rolling. I feel like, we get us a little inebriated first,
Right.
I'll have to say, so I had a win with the joint rolling competition, and it didn't feel as good as I thought it would feel, and it just kind of like took the competitive nature out of my sales, because at the moment, like, I have the winning spot, so.
Right.
We'll see.
Yeah, for sure. Now, do you guys roll filters with your joints?
I don't.
You don't? See,
and there's a reason for that.
I was just thinking right now. I'm trying to process what all just happened right now. I feel like that was like, what you think though? I'm trying to figure out.
I'm just telling you honestly how I felt. Like, I saw that I won, and I was like, Like, but when I lost, I felt something. You know what I mean?
Well, I think an honest win might change that a little bit, but...
Oh!
Yeah!
Are we about to have problems? That was the most honest win we could have had. Wow.
Hey, all I'm going to say is, that would I have won have I ever voted for myself.
Huh? Why?
Because I don't need it.
Oh, whatever.
You're supposed to vote for yourself.
Look, we need to... you asked about a filter, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Talk to us about this filter method.
Oh, shit.
Donovan,
I'm sorry.
yeah, so he has won a few times with the look of his joint, but the people that are voting aren't smoking it, and they don't have the fucking moment where you're smoking it and the filter falls off into your mouth.
Oh, you're like...
Sign up to Patreon, you can find out what she's talking about.
I think it's on the waxy clip.
Huh?
Oh, it's happened like a bunch of times.
Do we got to add a new AKA to you?
Who?
Snitch?
Oh.
No.
Who, me?
No, Tyler.
Oh,
damn.
yeah, maybe.
In all fairness, that was the first cheating one, too.
Oh, dang.
That is a great
What?
point. Yeah.
What do you mean?
So, isn't it cheating if water gets thrown on a joint?
So somebody is like trying to sabotage your joint?
That's
roll?
exactly what happened.
No,
So
no,
it's
no.
a sabotage.
No, it's an accident.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. It's
It's like the smallpox with the blankets, right? That was an accident too, right?
Whoa.
Dang.
That's
Yeah, I mean, there's a difference between cheating and sabotage, But,
All right.
I feel like there was a little bit of both of that one, but still.
It's caught on video.
It was. Everybody saw it. Literally, as soon as I put it down, it's just like,
no. Get the blow dryer out.
Yeah, we let them dry out.
hey, no, I still would. Damaged and all.
Damn, man. Well, Yeah, I don't know. I've never really been a filter guy.
I don't recommend it.
Granted, you can get like those pre-roll cones that have filters in them, and they're nice, and it's whatever. But as far as like when I'm rolling, I roll my own mouthpiece. I just roll it just tight enough on the end to where you're not going to get any Scooby snacks, but you're still going to be able to hit it and not worry about it like clogging up on you or anything like that.
I like that Scooby snacks.
Scooby
I ain't
snacks.
never heard that.
Yeah.
That's lit.
Yeah. What's better than the other one, which is like if somebody says like, "Oh, did it poop on you?" That one just.
I haven't heard that either.
Yeah. Yeah, it's on the back end of the blunt of the joint, so that would be its ass, right?
What'd you call it? Jankum?
Oh, Jankum, yeah, right. Jankum.
Man, if this was way too turped, I had something for that. Yo, I had something for this. Yeah, I'll leave it alone. Yeah, it's coming soon though. Y'all just get ready.
Here, there's an ashtray right there.
Oh, sweet.
So you said Granite City.
Oh yeah, right across just a hop and skip across the river there.
So what was it like growing up in Granite City?
You know, it was just like anything else. You know, it was there's a park there, so we play our baseball games in. You know, I actually lived on the other side, so I was a lot further than my friends and stuff. But we just biked everywhere, and you know, I actually grew up like with a big farmer's field in my backyard, and
So you was on that Stranger Things shit with the steel mill in the back and all that?
Yep. Steel mill's back there, and then there's we can have like bonfires at my place and stuff because you know we'd have our backyard. Then there's like a backyard between the fence and the farmer's field, which was still our property, but we can have fat bonfires back there. I actually had a little lake across the street from my house, so it was fun. Like I was outside a lot. Granted, I still did all my indoor video game shit, but you know, it was just you know, any typical kind of Midwest, you know, kind of upbringing there. You know, it's a little lower poverty in Granite, so it's like, you know, it's you know, you got your trailer parks, you got your, you know, down by the steel mill, it's a little more rough, and you know, you had more out in like the country kind of farm feel too. But yeah, it was nice, man. A lot of, you know, everybody smoked pot, so I just grew up around it. It was just, I remember the smell of weed since, you know, I can remember. You know, just whether it was in a friend's house from their parents or, you know, family members or my brother or whoever, right? It was just, you just were always around it. So it just kind of like, it's very natural to me to, you know, eventually smoke pot. But when I was in high school, you know, freshman year of high school, to be like, yeah, okay, this is what everybody's been doing, you know, because, you know, you can't really hide your weed, you know, growing up. Like your parents or somebody would be like, try to hold it in or put it down and this and that, and like, you know, and you're like, who are you kidding? Like, I know you're doing something. Like, I remember even like DARE class, like second or third grade, the cop talking about like marijuana and describing it, right? And I remember raising my hand and being like, oh yeah, my mom does that. You know,
No.
Damn!
oh, right?
Damn, you snitching, dog.
I know. I'm like, oh, that's the stuff. And he's like, you know, and right, give me the
Damn.
look. And it's just like, huh, oh, okay, so it's not, maybe it's a bad thing, but, you know, obviously it's not. It's just growing up and being around it, and yeah, man. So Granite City was fun. I ended up moving out of Granite after my 8th grade year and moving out to West County to go to high school out there. So that was definitely a different experience, you know.
Most definitely.
You know, growing up in Granite to like going to high school with a bunch of rich kids, basically, you know.
Yep.
Definitely a little shell shock there, that's for sure. But yeah,
The
fun
DARE
times.
program.
Yeah, remember
Did I
that?
talk about my DARE story from 6th grade? It's real quick, but did they do this with you too? Where like they assigned drugs to different groups, and you had to you had to like research it and create an illustration about saying no.
Yeah, I do.
Did you do that? Mm-hmm. Oh my god! So me and my little group got marijuana, and
of course,
like
naturally.
So, and I was the illustrator, and I illustrated this fatty. Like, the joint that I drew was so big, and all of the teachers were cracking up. Like, they could not, and I just remember that moment of looking at them, looking at my drawing, and then being like, and like showing each other. And I'm like, what the fuck? But yeah, that's pretty.
I'm tripping off the fact that they had y'all sign up as drugs. Like, they getting y'all for, like, what the fuck?
They assigned us.
What kind of bullshit was they talking about with DARE? They literally teach us how to be dope fiends and shit. Like, they're like, here, research it. It's like an acting shit.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Go
Until
find out how cool it is.
I know. I remember the PCP one was the craziest.
Oh,
I'm like, whoa,
shit.
you're going to climb buildings and jump off of it?
You're gonna break your legs, get up, and keep running.
I could be Spider-Man.
Yeah, I can be a superhero. Like, let's fucking do it.
Yeah, no, okay. I'm glad that was a shared kind of experience. Okay, good.
Yeah, they really pushed that shit in Granite, and it's funny because everybody does drugs there. So obviously didn't do its job.
Did not work.
Or maybe it did.
I feel like it did. I feel like, the way that they set y'all up, I feel like they was destined to get y'all on drugs. I was like, that was the goal of y'all. That was like, let's get them on drugs.
Let's get them on and then busted for it.
Yeah, for real. No. I ain't gonna lie. Like that's what it sounds like with y'all little shit. That's kind of wild, Joe. Kind of fucked up their shit is that.
Right.
Tyler, you didn't have that kind of thing? You never had that kind of assignment?
Nah, I think it progressed by the time we got to us, yo.
Yeah, at that point where I grew up, it was just like, hey, just don't do
yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
don't do meth and don't steal all our copper.
Oh, yeah.
That's a real thing too. That
Yeah.
happens. Yeah.
That's a good message.
That by the episode.
Or what's that? Catalytic converters. Leave those on the cars too.
I think that's more thing, I feel.
That still happens, man.
Yeah.
I mean, our trucks at my job just got jacked not too long ago. Our work truck, and they actually had one of the artists that we have had his old Cadillac there, and it got its Cadillac converter ripped off too. And this was in broad daylight.
Yeah, it's getting real out here, yo.
Yeah, I was like, dang.
Oh, and then the other side note, I've been hearing this a lot lately. A lot of people don't know this, but fun fact: if you don't already, slice up your plate tags.
Oh, really?
Yes,
What do you mean by that?
they'll take your shit. So slice it up, like take a rip, slice it up.
Oh, so basically, like, make it to where if they try ripping it off, they'll just get a piece of it. That's actually, damn. Yeah, good point. That's a good point. I'll definitely do that shit.
That's funny because I was at traffic court last week, and this one girl went up to the stand, and she said that. She's like, somebody stole my tags.
It's the truth that happened to me.
And I was sitting there, and I was thinking, she's full of shit.
No, it happened to me.
Since I flipped up here, I've had a full tag.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apologize to that woman.
Oh yeah, it's real.
Yeah, I'm going to have to be sure about that. I actually don't even have a vehicle right now. I drove here with Alyssa's car, and not to be a bummer or anything, but it was on July 5th. We were getting ready to leave on our Colorado trip, and I had just dropped the dog off, and I was heading back to the crib because, we're going to leave the next morning, and I smoked something on the highway on 270 going like 70 miles per hour. Basically, this car was in front of me. We were just driving middle lane. There weren't a lot of people around us, and out of nowhere, he just kind of swerved real fast, and I just didn't have time to react. And it was just some big piece of metal. I don't even know, some machine part or some shit. Smoked it, blew my right tire out. I spun out on the highway going back and forth across it and flew into a ditch off 270. I know, right? Wild, dude. Scary as shit. Luckily, I didn't get hurt. I didn't have any damage. Like, I didn't hit anybody. My dog wasn't with me. It could have been 10 times worse, so, thank God for that. But I even get out of my car. I'm like, oh, it's not even that bad. The bumper's ripped off, but it's right there. I can snap it back on. Turns out, whatever I hit completely ripped off my exhaust, right, muffler, wrapped around my back axle. It blew through my oil pan and fucked my transmission and split it in half.
Damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Wild, dude.
Damn.
So, yeah, that was fun right before I left for vacation.
Damn.
That's scary. Was the other person okay too?
Yeah, he dodged it, right?
Oh.
And then after I hit it, I must have just blew that whatever I hit into a million pieces. Other people hit it because after I was like getting out of my car, it was in the ditch. I looked over and there were several people pulling over, and I was like, "Oh, they're coming to check on me." No, they all had flats.
Oh,
Damn.
They must have hit other chunks of metal. Because I don't know what happened behind me after I smoked that thing.
Yeah.
I was already like fishtailing and then doing complete 360.
Oh, that's
Damn.
so scary.
Yeah, it was wild, dude.
I've done a 360 before. It's just scary. And actually, or no, I did a 180.
Yeah,
So like a full 180.
but still,
On
it's
like a very slippery road, and just all of a sudden, skirt, I'm going the other direction. I'm like, ugh.
yeah. When you're turning around, you can see traffic coming towards you. It's not fun. So yeah, I don't have to worry about tags for a minute, but
Well, I tell you what, they are not. Don't believe the hype. They'll pull you over for expired tags.
oh yeah, that's a real thing.
That's what I was at traffic court for. I had no idea
You're
that.
talking about the city, are you?
What?
I don't think you're talking about the city.
Yeah, I was Richmond Heights or whatever.
You can't
yeah.
do that around there.
Yeah, not out there. For
Yeah, like come
It
on.
was
man.
like a couple months past.
You got to know your zones. Like
yeah, they'll get you real quick out there.
I see a lot of expired tags right around there, though.
Oh,
But
really?
I don't know.
Like up where I'm at, you see, like me and Alyssa were playing a game of it. We saw a tag all the way back to 19.
Yeah, all the time.
Like, damn. I was like, how's that thing even like still a piece of paper? Like, how isn't it disintegrated?
Oh, they be having that nice and covered. Yo, for real though.
That are like the ones with their handwritten on it and it's just put under the like darkened.
Right.
This is legal. Don't pull me over.
That's funny.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we'll print it out.
Like, Shit be wild out here, man. For real, for real.
I think it's just the state of the world at this point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Especially after like post-pandemic and everything.
Yeah, like I feel like shit's like amped.
Yeah, man. That's why I'm like, you know what? Just enjoy the fuck out of the summer right now, because who knows what's coming up in fall. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, just get high as fuck and, you know, chill out, enjoy it.
What I heard's coming in the fall is like food shortages, and not to the point where like anybody will starve, but just like it's gonna be way more scarce, so the price is gonna be really high.
It's already happening.
Right.
Yeah, just inflation in general and shit.
But like even more, like they said by the winter, like you could expect your meats and cheeses and like certain like fresh vegetables to be super expensive.
Yeah.
I kind of believe it. I'm like, I'll stock up.
Yeah,
I'll get a
believe it.
freezer. I'll
Right.
save myself some money and get the stuff I like and have it around. I don't know.
I bet deep freeze companies are like doing real good right now. People just getting big old deep freezers put in their garage and just stock it up with shit.
Yeah.
Think about it, man. They're probably making bank right now.
Yeah.
We'll probably get one. I don't know. I kind of believe it. I was like preparing for COVID way before it happened too, though.
Oh, for real?
Yeah. And people were like, you're tripping. And we had like, you know, a bunch of different alcohol, huge bottles, like whatever could become currency, right? Like you think like if the society's going to crash, like what can you use as currency?
Shit, toilet paper almost became currency.
I know.
I feel ya.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like a lot of that shit was marketing bull.
Yeah, I could believe that too. Yeah, I could definitely believe that shit.
You could always, like everybody always says, as long as you got running water, what the fuck you need like toilet paper for real, for real?
Yeah.
For real. I believe that. Yeah, man.
Not being resourceful.
Exactly, right.
What did you say?
Switch to bidets.
Yeah.
They're really
there's that too.
difficult to
Yeah.
hook up.
Right.
I've heard.
The one I bought was pretty easy for an apartment.
Okay.
No bullshit.
You'll have to help me then.
And they're like that My Tushy or whatever. Doesn't that like hook up real quick?
Yeah, that's the one I got.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Not
They-
sponsored.
I've never,
Not yet. That'd be a great sponsor. I would say I would support that.
I've never tried a bidet before. I ain't gonna lie. I would try it. I feel like it'll be more resourceful.
Yeah, I've never done like the ones that are all in one. I've done the ones where you go to a hotel and there's like the separate toilet to the side that like does it. But that was always weird. Like I tried it, but it was like, oh, but I gotta get up with a dirty ass and walk over to the other toilet to make this happen. I was like, that's kind of like,
Do the goblin hobble.
right, yeah, man, you know. The goblin hobble. Yes, that is
Hey.
exactly what it is.
I be trying to figure out how you know some of these terms, bro. Damn, we saying that for way too turp though.
I was just trying to figure out everything in India.
Oh yeah, right.
I have questions, but maybe we'll save them for another time and place.
Nope, fuck it. You said you ain't coming no way too turp, so no, this is your time.
I didn't say I wouldn't come. I'll come on.
All right, well, as I said, it's your time, dog.
Yeah, no, because if you've checked out No Socials, New Socials, check it out. Tell us about it.
Just posting pictures of when I went to India.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because you've been to India.
Yeah, I was there for work.
Okay.
How was that?
Hot.
I bet.
Hot,
Yeah.
and I've never stepped on as much human excrement.
I feel a lot
Just the
better
amount of
knowing
humans.
knowing these are your photos. I feel much better about all of it.
Dude, I couldn't even imagine going to India. That'd be wild shit.
It was intense.
Totally different experience, right?
Oh,
From what
yeah.
we know, yeah. That's wild. Yeah. I would like to experience that one day. That's for sure.
Yeah, for
You know?
sure.
Definitely worth the trip out there.
Yeah. That's
Where
for
did
sure.
you stay?
We stayed at a couple places. So we flew to Mumbai. Then we had to go to Indore, which is like an 8-hour flight back to the northern side. There's another place that we had to go to. I forgot the name of. And then flew out of there to whatever second location we were filming at.
Dang. Yeah, that's wild.
Cool. That I will look at it with fresh eyes.
We definitely getting you a better mic.
Oh.
That one keeps on like going in and out. I feel like I can't hear you as much. Yeah.
Oh.
There we go. My bad. So we used to call it the dick mic back on the old podcast. So that's, you gotta get close.
Aw.
Gotta get close. Gotta kiss it.
What are words?
I've been seeing a lot of those like handheld mics on podcasts that I watch.
What do you call those ones? It's the ones where it's like the mic pack and then it's lavalier mic.
It's like a kind of version of it.
Yeah,
Those
yeah.
are like
Get you one of those.
sportscasters.
Yeah,
and-
yeah. Get you one of those. Yeah.
Yeah, the sportscaster mic.
You got one.
Oh yeah. Oh.
You used it one
huh?
time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We're right on.
Yeah, we gotta get you an official mic for real. Like, you kind of a regular now, so.
Yeah. Oh no, I just ordered those. Other ones. Yeah.
Okay.
With my obnoxious amount that I spent on Prime Day.
Oh yeah.
Just do it.
I don't think my credit score is ever going to recover.
Maybe you deserve it.
About to go ham.
Yeah. Speaking of lavalier mics, I remember the last time I used one was I used to teach those like painting classes, like sip and paint classes, where people come and get drunk off wine and teach them how to paint.
Really?
Yeah. It was pretty fun. It was
That's
like
lit.
it was before I got the job I have now. It was fun, man. It was good. But I was just thinking in my head, I was like, why does anybody didn't do that with like pot?
They're doing them.
Are they? That makes
Yeah.
sense. Like if it's like fully legal. And,
Paint and sip.
Yeah, at the St. Louis Cannabis Club. They're hosting them like once a month, I think.
That's pretty tight.
Should I burn in England?
Yeah, puff and paint.
Really, puff and paint.
Yep.
What a perfect name.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, why didn't I think of this? That's
Yeah,
cool, though.
I've been
I'm
wanting to
happy.
go to one.
Yeah. It'd be fun, Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm really bad at art, so I need like the step by step. I need somebody guiding me through every single piece of it for it to look decent.
You do learn a lot when you do those classes. Like, as when I was just teaching, you would get people like that all the time, and they'd like it and come back and learn something else, and you'd see them, like, grow as an artist just by, coming through, and, like, it was fun. And they're just basic steps, and, they give us, like, a whole planned out fucking sheet of how to do it and stuff, but, you put your own twist on it and everything, but ultimately, it's, like, it's cool to be up there teaching, having fun, everybody's getting loose. You can go around and help them and make them feel confident. If somebody's real upset or feel like they're not doing good, you can like really boost them up and be like, you got this. I really like this part of it. Blah blah. And like, even if you want to be honest to yourself in your head and be like, okay, it's not the best, but all right, I'm just keeping it real. But you still want to boost it up because everybody's an artist, man. Especially as like when you're a kid, I think everybody is an artist. It's just a matter of what influences you to keep going and who was there, like adult-wise, to like really encourage you to do it. And a lot of kids get that kind of that art, when art clicks in their head, a lot of shit gets shut down by people who are like, oh, you're never going to be good at it, you suck, this or that, and then they get discouraged and never touch it again.
Yeah.
And it's just really about just like anybody can be an artist. It's really just about practice.
Yeah, exactly.
You can have an eye for it and everything, but again, that's what I'm talking about. Like as a kid, you lose that eye for it because people are like shutting your shit down or this or that, and you just kind of your mind goes a different way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, man. So it's fun seeing people get better at art or teaching them something, or oh now I paint on my own at home kind of thing. It's like it's cool,
Yeah, you got to go support people. I remember we had like a quilt making project in 3rd grade or 4th grade, and mine got so fucked up the teacher had to take it home. She had to fix it for me.
Hey, that's still cool though. It's just a picture for you. I mean, was she like mean about it, or was she like,
No.
okay, that's cool, that's cool?
She was like you were saying. She's like, oh my gosh, love what you did here. I'm just going to take it home, bring it back tomorrow.
Yeah, it's a compliment sandwich. You say one good thing, you give them a critique, and then you say another good thing to soften the blow.
Oh,
I ain't gonna lie, I probably been mad as hell. Like, no, don't touch my shit. This cool.
she
Cool
did
the way
fix
that
it.
is.
She did
Keep
fix
it warm.
it.
It's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like
Yeah. Art is a very unique skill because truly, like, not everybody can just see something in their mind and then translate it into another format. Like, that is really, I can see a lot of cool shit in my mind,
Yeah.
but I cannot then bring it onto any type of canvas or anything.
Right. It's wild too about that. I thought, because that's how I do it, right? I can picture it in my mind. I've always thought I had a good imagination, and I can kind of put that on paper, so to speak, right? Mm-hmm. But what I've learned over the last few years is that there's people who they don't think like that, right? There's a name for it, but it's a certain percentage of people where they can't like picture shit in their head. Mm. And I'm not even saying to a certain extent. Some people are better at spatially, like, oh, I remember directions, or I can picture exactly how my old house was laid out. There's other people who can like imagine things and put it on paper, but there's artists who don't have that, right? Which blows my mind because that's how I think about art. But they can still sit there and make art. It's like they just do it like just off the cuff. They kind of go with the flow. and there's no like idea in their head that they're trying to put into the world. They're just making it happen. Like something's like, you know, funneling through them or something, some energy or something like that, you know. And it's just wild to me. I'm like, I cannot believe you can make art without being able to see it in your head first. So it blows my mind.
I feel like, I don't know if I can really, like, if I wanted to draw something, I definitely couldn't translate it on paper.
For real.
Yeah. That's why I get other people to do that shit. Yeah. Like, I'll just tell them what I see, but I couldn't, like, sit up there and draw it the exact way that I wanted it to. No.
Yeah. That's cool, though, too, man, to be able to, like, you know, people tell you kind of what their vision is, and you try to, like, make that vision happen. Like, tattoo artists do that all the time.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's so cool to me, too. And, like, that's kind of hard for me, you know, like, doing commission works or making paintings for people. It's like, because you kind of have to also take the chip off your own shoulder and be like, okay, maybe they won't like something I present them, and that's okay. I'm making what they want right now. So, like, you work with them, and you try to give them what they want, and it's always more, you know, there's more satisfaction behind that at that point, right?
Well, I always try to pay attention also to, like, the person's style. So, like,
Yeah.
I try to fit my idea also with what it is that they do, too. So then it's
Right.
not too much of, like, trying to go out of the way for both of us. Like, it's like, okay.
Right. That's cool, too, and I always appreciate that because it kind of gives you that creative freedom, right? And I think any artist really does. But
Like, that's where you get your best work.
yeah, right, because it's like a little bit of me, you got your idea, you can come to a happy middle and be like, that's dope because I appreciate your style.
Yeah.
And then you're still giving me what I wanted.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's cool. That's where some of those tattoo artists are so good, man. You know? And it's wild to me that some of them, like, we got on a kick during COVID where we just watched all that, like, Ink Master.
Yeah.
And all the binge of all it, and just seeing all those different artists, and some of them how they can just do, you know, basically freehand. Like, they didn't even have to have any references or nothing. They just, and that's wild to me.
I start to get that too, actually.
Yeah, right.
Those freehand tattoos. Never know.
Hey, at least you're willing to be your own canvas, you know?
Yeah. That's a good point.
You know?
Your body is a wonderland.
No, mine's an Arby's.
Got the meats.
Yeah. That's what you got to get your next tattoo, is you got to be, got the meats.
Yeah. That was my lifestyle that did not handle well in prison. So.
It's definitely got to be a double cheddar roast beef sandwich with the curly fries.
The curly, you got to have the curly fries.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Or the potato cakes. Those potato cakes. Don't sleep on the potato cakes.
Dang, what are those? Are those like tater tot type things?
No. It's like a triangle, but it's like a cake. It's like a tater tot kind of, but it's in like a triangle, like puff type deal.
Hash brown?
I don't like the sound of that.
I
But it's
a
like,
hash
yeah.
brown. Is it like mashed potatoes in the inside, but like fried on the outside?
No. It's like shredded.
Oh, so it is kind of like a hash brown.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's fire, yo. Don't sleep.
Potato cakes.
Have you tried it?
No.
That's all. Don't sleep.
Okay.
And they got the best mozzarella sticks.
Mozzarella sticks are pretty fire, yeah.
Yeah.
For fast food ones,
Yeah.
they're not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
them and White Castles.
I'll go to White Castle every now and then.
Not me anymore, yeah. Fucks me up.
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
had my time with them, you know.
Okay, wait. I have a question about that. Kind of along those lines. When you, do you hear your own voice narrating to you throughout the day? Either one of you? So, like, do you, inside your head, do you hear you talking to yourself?
I do, yes. It's not necessarily a narration, more so it's just a conversation.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just talking to myself. I'm like, what do I got to do next? This or that. You know, oh, this idea pops up. You know, create some creative idea that I can try to remember and shit. But yeah.
Okay, so you hear your own voice in your head. I do too, but some people don't.
Yeah, that's wild to me too.
There's a certain percentage of people
I
that
was
don't.
really just starting to do a heat check right now. Y'all ain't paying attention.
What? No, I'm not.
Like, do you guys hear voices too?
No. This has been like a topic in like other groups I'm in and whatever. Is like people are mind blown that you wouldn't hear like a voice narrating your life. Like like some people hear like everything they do. Okay, I'm getting my keys. Okay, I'm doing this. Okay, I'm doing that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But then other people are like, what? Like, no, I just see fucking pictures or like illustrations or like they don't hear that voice.
Yeah, mine's a little bit of combo because I'm like, obviously, I'm thinking and picturing shit in my head about like future events or like things I can do, but then I'm also like, okay, this is the next thing I got to do. See, when I was little, like I remember I got caught one time talk to myself on the toilet. Like my mom came by, I was like, it was maybe a little after potty training or whatever. I was like 4 or 5, and she's like, "Who are you talking to?" I'm like, and I wasn't even fronting. I didn't say like imaginary friend or anything. I was like, I'm talking to myself.
Nice.
And she's like, okay. And you know, I guess at my age, I didn't know how to like internalize it. It just came out loud. I'm like, yeah, so I'm gonna do this later.
Right.
Were you an only child?
No, I have a brother who's 9 years older than me, but again,
me
he's
too.
9 years older.
Yeah.
So then
like,
technically,
yeah, you know,
yeah, like okay. So I feel like that's like only child shit.
right? Yeah, yeah. It's not like
am I
it's not like we're
offended?
hanging around.
I'm only child.
Oh,
What
you
talking
are?
about?
Okay. We're all only children.
Right. No, I think that you're right though, because it's like you don't have anybody your age to like, at least while you're at your house, to like conversate or hang out with and talk about shit. Yeah. So you're just like, I'm gonna talk to myself.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Sometimes you know, hey, entertain yourself.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you got to be chill with hanging out with yourself. I
Yeah.
feel like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I get solace in that. Of course, I love hanging out with people, but like I'm one of those people where like I recharge by myself. Mm-hmm. But I also am the best creatively, usually by myself. Definitely, I have some good collaboration moments. Don't get me wrong. If I'm vibing with the right person, but as far as like just being, I guess my best self is when I'm with myself. Right?
Really?
Yeah, I think that's when I get the most done. That's when I can really dig into the weird creative mind I have to try to pull out the next shit I got to do. And especially like with these roaches, it's like it's constantly like I'm thinking of my own universe at that point, right? I'm like world building, and that in itself is so wild to me that like us as humans, we can sit there and like think about something completely different than the real world and like fabricate this whole existence. It's almost like we're our own gods, right? Like our own gods, we can create anything we want. And of course that's maybe a little bit of the weed talking, but in general, it's fun creating that because you can kind of escape there if you want, or you can make things make sense. You know? There of course can't be sentient roaches in the real world, but in roaches there is.
I mean, you never know.
Right. I got some weird shit to explain it too, like I mentioned earlier about like the religions being tied into it, right? Because I grew up going to like Sunday school and shit, and then once my parents split, my dad, he became a Jehovah's Witness, so I was getting I was already at a young age being told, no, you're wrong, you're right, kind of thing from my parents, like this is the right religion. To having an uncle on my dad's side who was an old hippie from the 70s, he was a Hare Krishna, so he, my dad stayed with him a few years, and like, he had a whole library of all like the Bhagavad Gita and, the book on reincarnation and stuff like that. And I would read all these books with him as a kid, and it was like superheroes. They had all these gods, thousands of gods, and like these battles over Earth and, cities floating in the air and all this shit. And I was always so fascinated by it, and especially the whole idea of reincarnation.
Yeah.
Because I do personally, I believe in that.
Same.
Energy can't be created or destroyed. It's got to go somewhere.
Exactly.
Right. So it's like, whether it's just going out into the universe for a little bit and finding a home at some point, there's some weird recycling of energy out there. So that actually reflects in Roaches. That's kind of the whole idea. Obviously, I want people to explore this themselves when they read the comic, but as it's revealed. But I can break it down here. It's essentially, these roaches were made from, are essentially reincarnated humans. Put it that way. The guy who owned the house before this Enoch character, the main character, takes the house over. It was actually his uncle. He essentially found a way to pull souls out of the reincarnation circle before they're completely washed, before they go into the next host. So it has attributes of the human life before. It's very in this universe is very taboo what he's doing, but he figures out this way, and he essentially starts, creating sentient roaches out of that to the point where once they have their own lineages, he doesn't need to do that anymore. There's already that red thread, tied to the roaches. So the human souls will always now be reincarnated into these roaches. They don't remember any of their human past lives or anything, but they have enough human kind of instinct in them. They start evolving into their own thing, right? But I wanted to pay respects to that, whole idea. And when I grew up and was so fascinated by it and put it into my comic, and obviously make it wacky as shit that way, and really bring it into the realm of like anime and stuff. You know, I even like my whole thing is like this world takes place, you know, just a couple years in the future, but if it's a future if the Cold War turned hot, right? Like say we did end up going to nuclear war back in the late 80s, right? And my whole, you know, wacky anime shit is that these monks came out of the ethereal mist, right? And they're like, yo, we've been watching you guys, and you guys need to stop before you blow each other up, right? So they come and they work with like the great powers of the world who are trying to stop like Russia and stuff to essentially teach them their ways. And they select certain scientists, aka the uncle who owns the house, to teach them their ways of, you know, etheric control. You know, you ever heard of like the ethereal realm? It's like the realm that's just past us, the other dimensions. You know, it's about harnessing that energy and, you know, using it to stop like a nuclear winter or whatever. So happens that the uncle was a scientist who studied roaches and you know, other like nuclear elements, and you know, because you've heard the story, like roaches they're resilient, right? They can survive nuclear winter. You know, they can live in that shit, which is wild to me. Like no other creature on Earth can, but roaches can. So that's kind of his whole idea, and then he kind of goes off the beaten path and goes a little crazy and starts making human roach hybrids, you know, and shit, and then the story goes from there. But I got this whole little backstory, and that's all, like I said, it's derived from things I grew up doing and learning about and was fascinated about, and then turned it into this this wacky thing that is me, right? Yeah. It's like Roaches will be my magnum opus as an artist. It'll be the greatest thing I've done because it's everything I am as a human into, you know, molded into this art form that I can express everything I want to express in one medium. You know what I'm saying?
That's like your first album.
Yeah, in a way, right. Yeah, exactly. Right. And I got other plans. I got other comics that'll spin off of this one and everything. Yeah. You know, eventually. Roaches is just a start, but sorry to get a little deep for
Nah, I fuck with that type of shit.
Yeah, dude.
So the roaches aren't paying a price. So like you're saying, like past lives. So like they haven't come back as roaches. Have they come back as roaches because they fucked up or were bad in the previous life?
So it's really cool you bring that up because that is something I touch on later. It's the aspect of reincarnation about being born in something lesser. You know,
I mean, if I came back from this life born as a roach, I'd probably be like,
and
what?
And not only that, but to eventually know, like, to come to that realization at some point that, oh, I know that I'm a roach. It's very Kafka-esque, you know? It's like, it's one thing, like, you know, in reincarnation, you come back as something, but if you're not, like, a sentient, like a human, you know, you just come back as, you know, a crab or a fucking, you know, lizard or something, you're not going to know that you were a human before that.
Okay.
Right? Because you don't have that sentience, like, You're a being, but you're not an intelligent being that can think about those concepts. But if you were, you know, a roach, and then eventually you realize you were a roach, you know, you're like, well, what the fuck?
Yeah,
Then,
I feel a little
you're
insulted.
aware of that at that point.
If I came from human life to roach life, I'd be like, damn.
Yeah, especially if you realize it. Yeah,
Wow.
you'd be real insulted. You'd be like, what the fuck? So that is something I'm definitely playing with down the line.
Maybe yes and maybe no, because when you really think about it, like,
They're the survivors?
exactly.
Ooh.
Yeah, right.
So it's like, at that point, I mean, once you get used to, like,
Roach life.
yeah, once you get used to roach life, you know, hey, it's like,
And that's kind of the whole thing, too. Again, I told you guys before this. It's like roaches it's very much a kind of a relation to humans. Humans are roaches.
I was going to say, I got something for you, because really it's like regular life when, like, sometimes when you just go ahead and accept the cards that were dealt for you, then you can really live life.
Exactly. Right. Exactly, man. Like you have to accept that the what was dealt to you, man. You got to know when to hold them, when to fold them. You know, like Kenny Rogers said. When
you realize you're a roach, just be a roach.
Just be a roach, because hey, we're all roaches anyway. You know what I'm saying? We're all cockroaches in this motherfucker. So.
Yeah, because when you were talking about it earlier, I was like, yeah, I have like some pride in the cockroach all of a sudden. And then, I don't know, then I was thinking about, oh shit, if that's my next life though.
And there still could be pride, because these roaches are fighting for their survival. They're fighting to make their own, you know, because they do realize at one point that they're not, you know, they're not just any plain roach. that their existence is on the hinges of non-existence, and they got to kind of figure it out. And luckily, they have a human to help them. And that human, by the way, he is very influenced by me, but it's kind of a guy trying to figure out his own life. He's essentially a washed up or kind of an inspiring what do you call that, action man, somebody who does like stunts and stuff, like a stunt guy, right? Because that was actually something I remember back in elementary school, you took those tests where it was like, what are you going to be when you grow up, right? And rolling, huh? And I remember on my first one I took, it was an artist.
Another one just in case.
Oh yeah.
I know the bright lights get a little nerve wracking. So.
Oh yeah. So it was like, I was an artist, or you can also be a stunt guy, and I was like, oh, stunt guy. Obviously that didn't happen, but I picture this guy. He's kind of an aspiring stunt guy. He doesn't get work. He doesn't have good relationships with anybody. He's kind of a schlub, and he ends up inheriting his uncle's house, and again, he doesn't really have a cause in life, but once he gets shrunk down mysteriously and is amongst these roaches during their impending apocalypse, which he did. He's the one who calls the exterminator on the roaches, because he doesn't know they're sentient yet. He's just like, oh, fuck, these roaches are all over his house. I got to call the exterminator.
He's going to come back as a roach next life. He fucked up.
So it's pretty much him atoning for that, He's helping these roaches out. He's like, I got purpose now. I'm helping these roaches survive. Granted, I'm the one who caused this to happen, but I'm here to make my wrongs right at this point,
No,
So,
I think we need to make a declaration right now, just before this gets way too out of hand. I think we all need to decide: are we pro roach right now, or
I am.
I am pro roach. For sure.
But not at my house, all right? Just let.
Yeah, right.
I look at this how some people look at the homeless. Like, I want to help, but just not close to me.
Yeah, next time you see a. Yeah, right.
No, I feel that. I really would not like to see a roach in my house. Don't get mad at me for this. You probably hear this a lot, but I have to say it and I have to ask.
Mm-hmm.
What about Joe's apartment?
Joe's apartment, yeah, that has been brought up a lot. It's great. Yeah, I definitely watched it too. This was back when I first made the roaches, like that concept art there for Donovan, and yeah, it was definitely a thing. But it's just so much. I feel like my roaches are very separate from those. Okay. Of course, as an artist, I'm like, well, mine is different because this and that, and
I cannot remember the actual plot of Joe's apartment, but I do remember the theme song, and I remember seeing the roaches, and like I remember it was an MTV show.
Yeah, and then they had a little movie.
They had a movie, and that was like the late 90s.
Yeah, it was just a dude like living in a shitty, apartment that he was just trying to survive day to day, and in the movie at least he like was trying to get like a girl, and the roaches like helped him, like like he had a date at his house, and he was failing at it, if I remember right, and they like helped him like make it better and shit, and they were all for him. They were the homies, man.
They were good, like, So that's, I had a positive association, from Joe's apartment. Like I had gotten the feel from whatever I remembered from it was like they were all right.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're pretty cool, And yeah, my roaches are too, because a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them smoke bud.
There you go.
Roaches smoking roaches, because the old owner, he was a big pothead, and there's weed all around, under the coffee tables and the couches and shit, and they crawl under there, find it, One of my roaches, he's the one, he's the archer. His name is El Camino, and he has a joint that he keeps in his quiver that he can pull out. And it's a human-sized joint, but he keeps it in his quiver and he can smoke it. I have another roach. His name's Hinatori, and he's inspired by like Edo period Japan samurais, and he keeps his sword sheathed in a blunt. And it's called his blunt tana.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. And he can pull it out and hit it. And I have it all wacky anime shit where like they have powers. They can use smoke powers and other things, because they can control that ethereal energy I spoke of. And
I know this might be a little like weird or whatever, but is it like, they show them slicing up shit, like, the blood and all that too?
Oh yeah, it's going to be gory as hell. Yeah. Because the big thing that happens when these roaches, when the exterminator comes and he sprays his poison out, it actually whatever roach it infects, it kind of zombifies them in a way, and not like a slow like they're crazy, almost like rabid more so, right? So they're not undead, but they're a little rabid, and they have to. Not only are they trying to survive, from the exterminator, they're trying to survive from themselves. The infected, because that's what happens when they exterminators poison. It gets on the other insects, and they carry it to their nests and infect the others, and carry it like it's on food. So, I wanted to show that, like, that spread, the infectious kind of spread of this.
You really did make this during COVID.
Yeah, right. Well, that whole idea was already even before COVID, but that definitely helped. That's for sure. And kind of, of the times,
We need a grinder for this.
Oh, yeah, my bad.
I'm trying to shred up
my fault. Hold on.
Pink Kush 2 from Build-A-Grower.
Yeah, my bad. I ain't trying to cheat. My fault.
You're fine. You're fine. Yeah, I was gonna ask for it after this. I got it to a nice little
Go ahead.
chunky style here.
My fault.
I'll take it down. But
Yeah, this stuff's really sticky. It's really pretty too.
It is. It's very pretty, very sticky, and it smells good.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Bill.
Oh yeah. But yeah, so this.
Did you gonna say something?
I'm bummed I didn't make that episode, and hey, thanks for leaving this behind. It's so cute in the and I mean this with the mason jar. Mason jars are my favorite.
Yeah.
That's what I keep my butt in. Yeah.
This one's like textured, and the label is like just how your grandma would have it. Like the label is like a cutesy little label. Look at that.
Yeah, it's like a little jar of jam.
Adorable. Love
That's
it.
from his first grow, isn't it? Or is he still in the process of his first grow?
No, that was the third harvest.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's really nice.
He's doing his thing.
Okay, so so you're still working on it. Because I went to your page and I saw a lot of the illustrations, but I didn't know the story from the page.
Yeah, and what I'm doing currently is actually for a contest. So I have been over the last few years building a backlog of what they call now episodes, right? Because what I'm making is a web comic. It's not really classic comic book style anymore. I'm not going to make this to print, because those just aren't. It's not really the way people get all their content from their phone nowadays or their computer, and that's where the website that I'm going to be posted to, Webtoon, really came out. Is this South Korean-based company, originally called Line, because you straight up, it's like a comic strip, but you scroll to read it, right, from top to bottom. So you even design it that way. But just like with any content, people can't get enough content, right? So a big thing in the community is before you start releasing, because technically I can release my first episode anytime I want, but I only have up to a certain point. I'll catch up to myself, right? And then I'm not going to have content because it takes me almost 3 months to make an episode. So it's like what I got to do now is just build a backlog, and that's what I was doing with my main Roaches comic. Is right now I'm on episode 5. I want to get a backlog of 10 episodes done, and then start releasing, because then I can really pace it out at that point. But currently, as I was working on page 5 or episode 5 rather, I saw that Webtoon was holding a contest. It was called the Call to Action Contest. Essentially, just had to be an action-based comic with a fight with between at least two characters somewhere in the comic. And I was like, well, shit. Obviously, I got to do something with Roaches, but I want to do something I'd never done before. I was thinking about it. I have episodes planned out to like episode 30 right now, right? Written down some way or form. And I was like, well, at this point, episode 15 or whatever, I'm going to have this whole episode to show what's happening in the other Roach community on the other side of the house. Because the main story focuses on the Troitian Roaches, or the Troits from the Roaches from the Kingdom of Troit, and they live in the garage, right? That's the main story. But one of the characters, the samurai-based one, Hinatori, the guy with the blunt katana, that badass, he's actually coming to assassinate the king on the day of the extermination, right? He's from the other side of the house, the Roaches that live by the grow room, the ones that they're heavy marijuana users. They use it as like a meditation way. They mastered the smoke manipulation, right? So at one point in the comic, I was going to show what happened to them during the extermination.
Shit.
Like, oh yeah, while all this crazy shit was happening on this side of the house, all this crazy shit was happening on this side of the house. I was like, well, fuck, I can just use that story for this contest, right? And make it just a one-shot special episode for this. And it will help kind of build the hype because it's kind of a self-contained story of the Roaches in one episode versus like, doing it over multiples. So yeah, I just got on it. It was 3 months ago, and I haven't stopped since. I'm over 300 hours into it.
Wow. Because you're hand drawing a lot of it, right? Or how
Yeah,
does that work?
it's all hand drawn. I have a essentially like a Wacom tablet. It's essentially just a computer screen I can draw on, about the size of this frame right here. And I just use a digital pen, and I'll draw it on this program called Clip Studio, which is like a Photoshop but made for like illustrators.
Okay.
And I just do it on there, and it gives you all the setup, and you can get the strip set up. It has all the, you can make your panels. They have a special panel tool, and word bubble tools and lettering, so it's perfectly set up for somebody wanting to do a comic.
Wow, that's cool.
So yeah, I've been putting in extra hours because I had a due date. It's due. People could start submitting on June 1st, and the last day to submit is July 31st. So,
ooh, okay, you're coming up on it. Huh?
I'm coming up on it. I will have plenty of time to finish still. I'll probably be done by this time next week with it because I'm on the final stages, like adding shading and onomatopoeias and stuff, which are like the big action words in comics.
Okay.
I'm on that stage now, I'm getting close. But the advantage people have had before me is that if you release on June 1st, you have that much more time for people to check your comic out. And that's 40% of the total score at the end is viewer engagement.
Oh, wow.
Right? But in that same breath, you can start looking at the submissions. You can tell, oh, yeah, you probably could have spent a little more time on this. You rushed it. Granted, you're getting more eyes. You might not meet all the other requirements, the other 60%.
Okay. It's only a part of it.
So, I'm really taking my time and really making it polished, and it's really long. It's longer than it probably should be, but it's fine. It's still under the limit, which is good. But yeah, it's like 3 of my normal episodes put into one episode.
Wow.
So it's like almost 6 to 9 months of work I've been doing in just 3 months.
Damn.
Getting home from work every night and just fucking working on it and blasting and putting in 10 to 12 hours of every weekend on it, and just but it'll all be worth it, man. I think I'll do pretty good. The awards are awesome, man. I think from like 4th to 10th place, it's like $5,000, right? 3rd place, you get offered an original, which means they'll publish your work. They won't take your IP, which is good. They won't take like your stuff, which is nice. But you get, I think it's $15,000. No, it's $20,000 for 3rd place, and you get signed, right? 2nd place is $30,000 and you get signed. 1st place is $50,000, you get signed.
Damn.
And you get an animated short made of your comic, which is pretty badass.
That's what's up.
But you can't accept those big bunches of money unless you take the contract, unless you sign up. So that's like
smart.
it's like signing bonus kind of,
That's really smart.
So yeah, it'll be tight. There's no real easy way to promote the thing because it's on that comic site. It's free to join. I just say basically like I'll release it next week. Just follow me on all my socials, and you'll see me blowing it the fuck up for the whole month of August, trying to get people to watch it, to read it. And there'll be a direct link on all my socials, and you just, viewer engagement counts as looking at it, giving it a like, and leaving a little comment.
Bet.
That's what they say for the viewer engagement. It's not just looks or just likes. It's kind of a combination of the 3. And you get that viewer engagement. That's what they want. They want to see that people like what this person's doing. We're gonna sign them on. We know if we sign them, they're gonna bring us in more money, basically, because they're getting more views. So
facts. That's a dope.
Yeah, it's pretty dope. So I figured it's an opportunity. And if anything, even if I don't place, I'm getting to meet other people in that comic community. I'm still getting my shit out there ahead of time, right? I still wouldn't be posting the normal Roach comic for another almost year. I still got to make 5 more episodes after this one,
Yeah.
It's going to take a while. So it's kind of a nice way to kind of get my shit out there early,
Yeah.
And really push myself, too.
Yeah.
Because that's what I've been doing, really pushing myself.
Yeah. Shit,
All right, man.
Let's see what yours look like. All right.
I rolled it like a blunt. I mean, I really did.
Don't look too bad. All right, so
Probably could have put more weed in there.
nah, you good? Because mine's a little too. So I'm trying to figure out which one should we take the picture at. I guess we can take it on this. All right, so yeah. Cool.
Whoa. See, this is where it all gets messed up. He takes all the joints and puts them how he wants to present them and then take the picture. Like, first off, that's not how these are. Okay. I've been given the power to arrange and photograph. You think that's not a power position on that?
Hey, I feel like, home court, away. I got game, baby. That's how I feel.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It don't matter.
Home field advantage, you know?
It don't matter to me.
Right.
I play ball no matter where I'm at.
Can we start deducting a certain number of votes if the crutch falls out? The filter?
Shake it.
I don't have to. I know that when I hit it.
Yeah, if you have a filter, it's got to be a filter test right away. If you go the filter route.
Yeah, I'm just going to take a couple. Here, let's put it like over. Look, that one. I'll put yours in the best position too.
Hey, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see nothing.
Oh, sure.
All I see is a wind right now.
Right, I bet.
All I see is 3 joints.
I think yours was meant to go that way.
Yeah, I would have to look at it. Yeah, whatever the tighter end is going to be the mouthpiece.
Yeah, that's what I just fixed.
Nice.
I got it. Don't worry about it. All right. Photos are taken. Which one you want to smoke? Guess pick.
Okay. Let's test that filter out.
Let's
Go
go.
ahead.
Let's go. I did something a little different this time, so I feel like the filter's gonna be secure this time.
Yeah, it's got a
Glad
nice.
I could
It's
help.
pretty secure. It's tight. It's nice. I see it.
I learned from my mistakes.
All right. Should we do the news?
Ooh.
All right. On today's Chirp Report, we have a story out of Missouri, a local story. This comes from the Missouri Independent from Rudy Keller on July 18th, 2022. That was yesterday. So this, I read through, it's a little confusing, I think. So basically what this story, so there's a picture of a guy rolling in, what's he got? Looks like he's rolling a blunt.
Yeah, you got a blunt.
He's rolling a blunt on the news story, and it says, a proposal to legalize recreational use of marijuana in Missouri appears unlikely to make the ballot because of insufficient signatures.
Damn. I should have thought of a drop for that.
The headline is, Fate of Missouri Marijuana Initiative Petition Unclear as Signature Count Continues. And then it goes on, another initiative petition that would have established ranked choice voting has already fallen short of signatures needed to appear on the ballot. So this article is talking about 2 different initiative petitions. So Legal Missouri 22, and then another one about ranked choice voting, which has nothing to do with weed. But so it says whether Missouri voters will get a chance to legalize recreational marijuana in November is still in question. The latest incomplete tabulations from Secretary of State Jay Ashcroft's office, obtained under a sunshine law request, show the Legal Missouri 2022 initiative is short of the necessary signatures in 4 of the 6 congressional districts necessary to make the ballot. So it goes on to explain that the ranked choice one, which was a whole different initiative about weed, they, from this sunshine request and seeing where their count is, they know that they have not made the ballot because their counts were that low. So they've already released a statement. So Better Elections, they spent $8 million on signature gathering and campaign things, and they have now released a statement like, hey, we're not quitting, but they're not making the ballot this time. So they invested that much, and they're not making it. Okay. They're claiming, so they hired the same company. So this Better Choice Elections campaign, or this Better Elections campaign, they hired Fieldworks, which is a national organization that hires signature gatherers to get, support and get put on the ballot for different initiatives. So they're like a nationwide company that hires people wherever. That's why if you talk to people who signed the Legal Missouri 2022 petition, they'll be like, this person wasn't from our state. Like, they were here from out of state gathering signatures. That's because that was Fieldworks. That's what Fieldworks, they've got people all over the nation. They just call in the troops to gather signatures. So both of these petitions have hired Fieldworks to collect the signatures. One of them has definitely not made it, or at least they've said we're not making it.
Yeah.
And Fieldworks is saying, this person said it was a catastrophic failure on the part of Fieldworks. That's what Nicholson said of the Washington, D.C. firm that was paid more than $8 million by the two campaigns to collect signatures. Oh, I wonder what two campaigns they mean. So it goes on to say Fieldworks has managed several successful signature gathering efforts in Missouri, including the 2020 Medicaid expansion and the 2018 referendum on right to work. So same organization was hired to get those signatures. So then they go on to say Legal Missouri has expressed confidence that its initiative effort, where it boosted paid signature gathering with volunteers, would succeed. John Payne, Legal Missouri campaign manager, said he still expects the initiative to make the ballot. So he says that they having turned in nearly 400,000 signatures from Missourians who want to become the 20th state to regulate, tax, and legalize cannabis, we are confident about being on this November's ballot. Basically, the way that it works, so both of these campaigns, Legal Mo and the other one, they needed 8% of the vote based on the 2020 turnout in each of the six of the 8 state congressional districts. So state of Missouri has 8 congressional districts. They need 8% in 6 of those. But Legal Missouri is lacking the required signatures in the 2nd, 3rd, 6th, and 7th districts. In the 2nd and 3rd districts, St. Charles has not reported and could deliver enough signatures to be sufficient. But with 13 counties with tiny populations left to report in the 6th and 3 counties in the 7th uncounted, both appear unlikely to obtain the almost 5,000 additional signatures needed in each district. So again, the campaign, John Payne saying, hey, we know what we have in those counties and it's going to come through. That's basically his quote, paraphrased. And that's the story.
So that's wild. So they're essentially paying for followers in a way.
Yeah, I would agree.
It's to relate.
I would agree. There's several ways that certain initiatives gain signatures, and either by paying a firm to do it or by grassroots support, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes there's a combination of the two.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's interesting that you noticed this and you're not even, deeply invested in.
I know, right? But I was like, damn. That's that shit's happening all around in different ways, but even here, and it makes sense that it would be rooted in, political, ideas. But yeah, it's wild, man.
But it's also good to know that people aren't as blind as we think they are. So then, there are certain things that could possibly be done to implement some change.
Absolutely. They want us to think that we're dumb, right? They want us to say, oh, yeah, we're just a bunch of stupid Americans. But I think a lot of people are, especially in this day age of social media and just being on the internet in general, the fact that we can follow these stories, and actually be a part of that is, bigger than it ever has been. So I think people are a little more aware of what's going on than you think, but
I think that was another part of the pandemic, honestly.
Yeah.
And it kind of manifested in some crazy ways with the response to the pandemic, but people were paying attention to the news.
Yeah.
And what was happening around.
Or finding their own news because they learned the news is bullshit. And they went and did the research themselves because we have, the information's out there for us to do it. It's out there. You just got to go look for it, and sift through the bullshit and find what's really, worth it and not just somebody else's agenda,
What's really interesting is when you're boots on the ground to or the backstory to a news story.
Yeah.
every time I've ever known the backstory to a news story, I'm always like, ugh, they're just forgetting so much. Like, it just never does it justice. You know? It's crazy. Like, the news stories are never the full story.
Like you were saying, too, like before this, that, you know, some people would, if they didn't realize, they just see it on the ballot and just, you know, check it off and be like, yeah, that's, you know, of course I want weed in Missouri. But, like, you don't know how loaded that is, unfortunately. You know,
right. Like, why is it presented to you? That's the first question. Like, first question with anything is, like, who's funding this?
Yeah.
The businesses you patronize, anything. Like, literally anything you do, like, you should be asking yourself, who's funding this and why? And is that something that I want to support with either my money or my time or my, you know, whatever it is. And obviously we have to pick our battles because there's so many. But, like, you know, there's, I think people are becoming more kind of conscious of that.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's for sure.
I notice it in the St. Louis folks, honestly. I feel like St. Louis people are, like, kind of attuned to that more than some other places I've been.
I think that's the Midwest, like, in general. Like, you just, you know, things are moves a little slower here, you know? It's not just, like, the next new thing getting thrown at you like it would be on the East or West Coast. Because that's, like, they're the ones who, like, they control, like, the pop culture about what is America, right? Like, you know, bigger cities, Chicago maybe, but, like, that's still very Midwest to me. It's, like, big city Midwest, but in general, I feel like, you know, out here you can kind of take your time and think about shit, you know. You don't have to be on to the next, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I lived in New York just for a few months one summer during college, and it was like, it's fucking wild out there. The amount of people, the fast pace, literally the city that never sleeps. Everything that's new, that's out, is being thrown at you every day. You're meeting all sorts of people from all walks of life, from native New Yorkers to, you know, people like me who are just going there to try to make it somehow, some way. And it's a fucking different jungle out there, man. It's you know, especially growing up in the Midwest, it's a whole different beast.
Yeah.
You know? It really is. So it's like, I don't know.
I don't know how to say this in a way that doesn't make me sound like a jerk to certain people, but I feel like it's not as easy. You can more easily con people in bigger cities and in other places than you can here. Yeah. There's just still a certain level of, like, your reputation precedes you, your word means something still.
Yeah, right.
And, like, there's just a bit of, I don't know, you can kind of get away with more bullshit in bigger populated cities or states.
Yeah, we be hit the shit.
Yeah.
Like,
We have more time to think about it.
right. Yeah.
Said, right.
Motherfuckers might not say nothing, but it's just because they plotting. That's all.
Yeah, right. Exactly. You know, you hear the saying about, you know, fast talking New Yorker. I mean, I deal with them every day at my job. You know, it's like my job. We are essentially an art publisher who, you know, makes art for, you know, multiples of art for these big art world renowned artists, right? And so we deal with New York people from New York, gaolers, private collectors, and shit that'll just get on the phone and try to run you the fuck over, because that's all they deal with. People all day, every day. They're just getting to what they need and to the point quick, because all they care about is themselves. And I'm not saying everybody. Again, I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes here. I'm just telling you what I deal with, and the difference between, like, you know, a Midwest city like St. Louis and you know. Mega metropolis that is New York, right? So,
yeah, I would agree.
But yeah,
I think that's a good thing. I think that's a beautiful trait of the Midwest.
Yeah, definitely, for sure.
Because if you're out there doing good things and being somebody of good character, like, that works out for you.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like because, like, on the coast and all that stuff, like you said, you're always worried about what's new. So 9 times out of 10, that's something materialistic. And, like, in the Midwest, it's just kind of like, you know, it's the mom and pop thing. It's the really you're prided on being able to create your own or being able to do something like that. So it's like a lot of people pride themselves on doing home projects. Yeah. Like, I feel like, you know, that's a flex in the Midwest, or like things of those natures. Like, so it's just more like, you know, just building it up from the ground up, and just like that's more prided around, like, in the Midwest.
It's more of a sense of a community, like you said. It's like you're building your own, right? Versus building to be something different. Like, people escape to New York and LA to to make it, right?
Right, exactly. The
it,
jump to
yeah, but then making it, you kind of lose yourself. Like, were you humbled? But like when there's that sense of community and you're making something for everybody else, right? It's different. Yeah, look, I went down that hole. Like I just said, I went to New York. I was going there to try to make it, right, in a way with my art, or I was rapping a lot back then, right? So I was like doing it out there too, and it was like trying to prove something. But it's like ultimately I wasn't making for myself to help others. And like even with my comic, it's like any of my art, even when I painted, it was always to please others in a way, right? I wanted somebody to fall in love with the art or learn something from it or grow from it or be able to tell the next person down the way, like, because that inspired them. They're like, they look at this art and they're like, wow, I feel something from it. And but in anything, like, you can build past that. You can make like a podcast like that brings everybody in the community together, in St. Louis, local, with the growers and everybody who's in the business. It's like, it's cool because you can bring people together and build something for the people. Versus
statewide now,
right? And that's different. Once you start getting eyes on you in that sense, it's like, it's just it's more natural. You can be yourself. You can then your fans become your community. Yeah. Right. Versus just like looking at you, idolizing you because you're.
I don't even look at it from the fan perspective because like when I first started this, I guess that's how I look at it. It's like so many people I've met, and like now that it's gotten bigger, like it's interesting to kind of interact with people who I've never met. And they listen to the podcast. That's starting to become a new thing. It's really like, it's humbling. Like how you said you walked in and like I had the painting up and all that, and it's like I kind of feel the same way whenever the sketch. Whenever I go to the grow shop and like I kind of be in there and somebody notice me and kind of be like, whoa, this is weird. Like people really do pay attention to this shit. Or like when guests come on and they're like, I didn't really know about the community until I started listening to this podcast. And that's just kind of like, wow, we really are making an impact. And that shit just kind of like, I don't know, that's the greatest feeling out of all of this shit.
Absolutely. Right, man. Like you said, you're bringing the community together in that sense. And then by having guests on and, expanding their horizons and introducing them to more people, it's like the ultimate networking. But again, in the most natural way. It's not like everybody's trying to get up on the next person. Like, you can network and, in some serious job setting and you're just trying to basically get over on the next person. But if you're networking, collabing with a community of people who are like-minded and can build something that's real, right, they actually can change things, I think. That's really cool. Especially, like you said, you feel that, from seeing people who listen to the podcast, talking with the people that you've had on and their exposure and meeting new people, you can kind of relate to that, and it's good, man. It feels good, That's what's so cool about doing this like comic contest, and I'm meeting new comic artists that I would have never met otherwise, right? Because like I said before, I suck at social media, and I honestly don't like getting on it a lot because I feel like I'm wasting my time. Other people would argue, they'd say, "Oh yeah, well, promoting yourself's not wasting time," but I feel like I can be working on shit versus trying to say, "Hey, look at what I'm doing," right?
And in the case of the podcast, it's like each person that's come on has brought over some people, you know what I mean? So it's been every guest has like added on and built on to each one. So it's really, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited. Obviously, I got to be on here today. I appreciate it.
I appreciate
you meet new people in the community. So nice to meet you guys. And also, I hope to like meet more people through this in the community, right? Speaking on all that, it's just like, yeah, because I can share something with them. Maybe they're not really into anime or comics, or maybe they are, and they're just looking for the next thing to look at, and that's just like, we can all like talk about stuff.
I feel like weed and anime kind of cross together. Like, I've been looking at your page for like years, and so I've always felt like all your stuff kind of coincides with what we do a lot. Like,
yeah,
especially now with your implementing a lot of your art with the culture now.
Right. Exactly.
Like I said, I've always known you to smoke. When I first started smoking, this is one of the people that I actually started smoking with. So.
Yeah, right on, man.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It's weird how this podcast shit and just how like my life has been able to kind of like come full circle with a lot of things, and like the
Yeah.
things that I used to talk to people about like way back when.
Yeah.
Like now it's starting to come, like, and it's really starting to happen for real. It's like,
Yeah.
it's fucking nuts. Alchemy is amazing. If you haven't read the book The Alchemist, definitely read that.
Definitely.
That's what changed my
Never read
life.
it.
Can we suggest other books here? Can I?
Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Hell
If you
yeah.
guys have never heard or read Dune, definitely check out Dune. Right?
Okay.
By Frank Herbert. It was written in 1965.
How do you spell it?
Dune.
Okay.
Dune. So, if you like Star Wars, get ready because this inspired Star Wars.
Oh,
Not every
really?
aspect, but many aspects of it. The Jedi aspect, this desert planets, and also it also inspired authors. Frank Herbert inspired authors like George R.R. Martin, the guy who did Game of Thrones and Song of Ice and Fire series. So
I haven't watched either of those, but I know those are like major.
they're big, and it's all from books, and like the books are always better, But Dune, really good read. It talks about humans and war and life and the environment and there's a very big drug aspect of it. The whole book is revolves around this drug called the spice, which is the most sought out drug in the universe. This is like 20,000 years in the future, and this drug, the spice, essentially it makes you prescient, which means you can see into the future. Ooh. Certain people it affects more. It also makes you live longer, right? Gives you slightly enhanced physical abilities and everything, but it's completely addictive. You can die if you stop taking it, and it turns your eyes completely blue, and not just your irises, the white of your eyes turn blue, so you get completely blue eyes.
So you're saying the spice?
The spice.
The spice.
The spice melange is what it's really called, but the spice.
Because there's spice out there, but it's not like you've heard about that, right?
Yeah,
it's like some weird, creepy. Yeah, okay.
Maybe they got their name right, but it's a really good book. It talks about this kid who's destined to become the chosen one kind of thing. That whole kind of story, and can see even farther into the future with the spice, and his family's getting this planet inherited to him, blah blah blah, and it. How he eventually starts learning to live like the native people on this planet. They ride these giant sandworms through the sand, and it's wild. It's a wild fucking story. But it came out in 1965, and it predicted so much shit. About AI. Like in this universe, AI is not is essentially banned. Artificial intelligence. So, which kind of back in 1965, some guy was basically warning like, yeah, this shit could end up being real bad at some point. So. I predict that they will ban it in the future because it would end humanity.
Oh, wow.
But really good, and there's like 6 Dune books, so that's my recommendation. Sorry to drag on about it. Dune. They just had a movie. They've tried making it into a movie several times, right? There's a 1984 classic.
David Lynch.
David Lynch,
Yeah.
Dune, yeah. Real campy, but it's fun, right?
Borowski should have directed it.
Yes, that one. The concept art for that guy, so he would actually, that movie would have came out even before 84. It was so like ahead of its time, and like the budget would have been astronomical that it fell through. But it was a wild mind trip of a concept.
Okay, so this was one of the questions I was going to ask earlier.
Right.
I'm glad that you brought this back up. I can tell you're really into film.
Yeah,
So,
yeah,
like,
yeah. I'm inspired by a lot of that shit. Yeah.
I can tell. So, like, what are your top favorite films? I'm going to say movies, because I can tell you're more into, like...
Well, I mean, I'm not a crazy big film buff, but I definitely, just all forms of, like, entertainment, I would say I'm really inspired by. But as far as, like, movies, film, definitely the Dune Part 1, directed by Denis Villeneuve, which is the new one that came out over the pandemic. It's the first half of the first book is in one movie. They're actually starting to film the second part now. It was done brilliantly. He did a really good job. I would say probably my second one was another film by Denis Villeneuve called Arrival. That one came out a few years ago. I don't know if you saw that. It had Amy Adams in it. And she basically, like, it's just modern day aliens show up on planet Earth. They're kind of just sitting there in a pod. Like, they're spaceships, nobody's moving. They finally send crews out there to try to intercept them or talk to them. They don't seem violent. And she's basically a character who is like a linguistics or language expert, right? She can like decipher like languages that and like translate them, so she essentially starts. She's able to talk to the aliens and learn their language and figure out why they're there and everything. And that's all I'll say without spoiler. But that's the whole premise of the movie, and it's cool, man. And it's beautifully done. It's not like any other alien movie. It's not like over the top, blockbuster, like Armageddon style shit. It's like it's really well thought out. And then the third one, I don't know. That's tough. I could be artsy fartsy, but I think I'm just gonna go with something funny that like really cracked me up. Fuck it. I'll just throw it out there. Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Oh,
I watched the movie a lot. I can't deny it that it's definitely up there in my top 20 movies. So I'll just say that for the fuck of it. Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I've never actually watched that. I'm gonna have to watch it for.
It holds up even to this day, even if it's like 20 years old now. It's,
what was the first one that they did called?
That was the first one.
Oh,
Go to
that
White
was?
Castle. The second one was
Guantanamo Bay.
yeah, and the third one was I think like a Christmas special.
Okay, I don't think I saw any of those.
Yeah, the third they get repeatedly more and more wacky as they go on. Like you're like, okay, you guys are literally just giving fuck you money and just had fun.
That's I feel like that's every version of like a movie when it goes to the Christmas theme. That's what it is. They just got the bag for that shit.
Yeah,
That's fine. I'm fine with that.
They're just make a third one. They're like, what do you want to make it? Let's make a fucking Christmas musical. They're like, okay, that's completely like, non sequitur and just doesn't make sense. But sure, let's do it. Fuck it.
I like the Christmas specials.
People will watch it, and they did.
So that's not Pineapple Express then. That's different.
That one's fun. I love that movie. It was cool. But yeah,
That's
it's definitely
Seth Rogen,
different.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Harold and Kumar had John Cho and I forget the guy who played Kumar. I forget his name. I don't see him in as much. John Cho, he was actually just recently in one of Netflix anime live action shows, Cowboy Bebop, which is a classic anime. A lot of people think Netflix did it dirty because it's hard to make a live action anime. It really is. That's the reason it was an anime in the first place, because it is what it is. But Harold he was the main character of that, and Netflix canceled it after the first season because so many people shit on it. I had fun with it. It wasn't like perfect frame by frame the same anime, and this anime Cowboy Bebop is like it's like a cult classic, right? Like people you have those Cowboy Bebop stans who will stand there all day to defend it, and of course they shit on it, but yeah. I just felt bad for the dude. I'm like, dude, he hasn't, obviously he's probably a working actor, but to see him do that, and he did such a good job and seemed like he loved doing it, and then they canceled the show just because a bunch of fanboys are.
Hasn't Netflix never made money?
I don't know. I do know. I just saw
sure
today they lost over 1 million subscribers.
Yeah, I cut my shit.
Two. Really?
Yeah.
I share it. Share a password with my brother. So.
You see, I thought they was cracking down on that.
They're trying because they've never made money. I don't think, honestly, out of all the years they've operated, maybe a couple years they've made money.
Yeah, it's just those couple big shows that do good, like Stranger Things or Queen's Gambit or Squid Game kind of shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was reading today in that article that they're trying to crack down. They're going to test it in other markets first, and but they're hesitant because they're losing so many people so fast that if they implement that more people are just going to leave because they're like, yeah, well, fuck you then.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then they'll lose even more people. So they're very hesitant on pulling that plug.
Yeah.
So, share passwords away, I'd say.
They're not valuable enough at this point to be able to pull moves like that, I don't think.
And then, to me, their content isn't even worthy of it for the price now.
Right. There's a couple shows you watch, and then the other shows you can watch on other streaming services.
Yep. Yeah. I'm like HBO.
Max?
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
That's the essential.
That's what I have right now, too. That's really interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You guys can watch Dune on there.
Really?
Yeah, the new Dune is on there.
If you do up Timothy Chalamet that long.
Yeah, that one. Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya.
Mm.
Yeah.
But that's legit a bucket list goal of mine is to have a show on HBO.
That'd be dope. Yeah. That'd be dope, man. Yeah, they especially nowadays because all these streaming services, they're making new content that they wouldn't put on their normal channel or whatever. Like they can make originals, and it could be anything. Exactly. So that I could totally see that, man. Yeah, I see you there. Right? I see you there, bro.
Yeah, I want to do
I'll be right next to you. I'll be right next to you, you know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you have your show, now Roaches will be up there, and I'm like, yeah, man, he also voices on Roaches, you know that?
You already know.
They're like, what? I'm like, yeah.
I already know.
We got you, bro.
Fuck yeah. Trying to do some things out here.
Right, man. One step at a time, you know?
Oh, you already know.
Yeah, man.
It all started here.
Yeah.
Actually, no, it didn't. It all started. Yeah. I don't even know how it all started, but it all started back in the day, though. It all started with this.
Yeah, right.
The Jenkum
Yeah.
art show. Maybe.
Yeah, right.
Inspired by Jenkum.
Right, it's inspired by that's good, man. I think, I have to tell I haven't talked to those guys in a while, the guys I did the art show with. I'll be like, you know what? Somebody said they were inspired by Jenkum. I was like, damn, dude.
That might have to be the episode name.
Funny.
That might be it.
Yeah, man. Well, you know what I'm saying, dude? It's like you said, it comes full circle. You know, you can make something people like and be inspired by hanging with somebody and meet new people, like-minded, and things happen that way, man. You get ideas, you become creative. That's what's cool about meeting other people in these communities.
Yeah.
It inspires you to do other great things in your life too.
Yeah.
Hopefully, the change inspires somebody else, and it kind of it grows. It's like that. That little ripple becomes a wave at some point.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to come on your Twitch.
Yeah, man, you got to come on. I need to actually. I want to get back into doing like reviews, and I even had like a PanNerdia podcast on the YouTube channel at some point where I think I did end up doing like 6 or 7 episodes, and I was just all over the fucking board that I just never really stuck to one thing. But I do want to get back into it soon.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Right, man. Or just have somebody on and just chill and talk while I work on art. Fuck it, that'd be pretty cool too.
Yeah, for real.
You know what I'm saying? I have all this set. I got a green screen. I can move my camera anywhere in my basement for the couch section where the games are, to my painting section, to my desk. Yeah, we can do all sorts of shit in there, man.
That's a whole show concept right there, yo.
Yeah, dude.
We might have to, figure out something where it's like,
yeah, it's a big fucking studio downstairs, man.
Podcast concept for you.
Oh.
Where you just sit up there and you draw whatever like inspires you while you're talking to that guest.
Yeah, that'd be tight, and they can join along too if they want.
And by the end of it, y'all show.
That's pretty tight. That'd be really dope, dude. I say, after I get off this contest run here in a couple weeks, I can start thinking about adding something in like that, So I'll be slowing down on the comic thing. Kind of burnt myself out here over the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Going in the grind mode. So, yeah, that'd be tight, dude. I mean, like I said, I'm always looking for something new to start, so.
Is everything you hand draw adding to, like, making your life easier in the future? Like, do you have it so you can, like, later refer back to those drawings so you don't have to recreate it every time?
And that's what's nice doing it digitally. Like, of course, you can do that all with just pencil to paper, but it starts really stacking up at that point. At least with digitally, you can just save folders of shit. So I have folders of references. I have folders of, sketches from this point to this point. I told you I recorded all my, like every painting I did, I recorded it while I was doing, because I was on Twitch. And I have time lapses, so I can always go back and see how I painted something.
That's cool.
But yeah, especially with these Roaches, I've been building up like a little like bank of them in certain angles, of information and whatnot, just so it makes it easier. And I've definitely, since I pushed myself at this contest, I've gotten a lot faster at doing everything, and a lot more like efficient, which is cool. Like I can see, I've learned a lot, which is nice.
Yeah.
That muscle memory.
Yeah, that too. Right.
That's dope.
Yeah, it's fun, man. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, and I just upgraded my tablet a couple months ago. So it's like I used to have like a 13-inch, now I have a 22-inch.
Okay.
So it's nice. It's like I work on one at my day job too. A big Wacom tablet, and it really helps. And when I got the position, I actually told him I was like, look, I know the last graphic designer used his mouse and click to do everything. I was like, you guys got to get me a Wacom tablet. I'll do twice better work than he did. And they're like, okay. And they invested in it, and now they're happy they did because because it's just somewhere natural. I can do Photoshop with basically a pencil.
That's cool.
I'm not point and clicking and doing. I can
Yeah.
So it's just so more intuitive. It's like straight from my mind to my hand. I can get the job done when I need to get done. You got some hotkeys to help you out on stuff, but otherwise, it's cool, man. It's cool learning. I never thought I would do digital for the, because I got a degree in fine art, painting. So it's like, for even while I was in college, I was like, oh, digital. I was like, I think even, for a little bit, I thought about doing graphic design, and it's like, no, I'm gonna stick to fine art. Like, fuck that. I don't want to just design box labels. That's like all I thought about. I never thought like, oh, I could be doing this. And now the program I have, it's made, like I said, it's an illustrative program, but you can digitally paint on there too. And they got that shit down to a science where it feels like you're actually painting on the screen. The way the colors mix, the different brushes, it's way better than Photoshop's paintbrush stuff. Again, Photoshop, it's a little more, broad. It's like it covers a lot of different things you can do with it. Where this program's specifically made for what I'm into, so it's
nah,
tight,
talk your shit. Tell me. You said, nah, you ain't built like me. I do this real shit.
That's right.
Do you do freelance work?
I do. Currently, I don't have commissions open just because I'm so busy, but yeah, I have.
Okay.
Never got the hits I quite wanted, but at the time, it was all just painting. Like, oh, I can paint for you. I can, do whatever you want. I can commission. I'll do it in acrylic. Now since I am so efficient in digital, I could probably look into doing digital shit too.
I know you in the weed, so if you got a thing for doing weed art, you might have an audience right now.
Right.
So say it.
Well, if you guys go to the page and look at the Roaches content, you'll see my logo for Roaches, like the title card essentially. And I design all my own logos for PanNerdia and the Roaches, and it's fun, it's definitely fun designing logos and shit, and like my banners for Twitch, it look like I'm working on a comic strip and stuff. It's definitely cool. So yeah, maybe down the line, you guys hit me up, and commissions could be open at some time in the future.
I got one more question for you.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so top 3 people that you would smoke with.
Ooh, that's a good one. Damn. Can it be, is it just people alive now, or is it like anybody in history?
Anybody in history.
Okay, see, that makes it more interesting.
That are alive.
So, I would say definitely the Buddha, if he was real at all. But legend goes that, I would smoke with the Buddha. Let's see, who else? That's a tough one, man. I feel like I gotta pull somebody from the modern times. I would say Bryan Cranston, who plays Walter White in Breaking Bad. Why? I don't know. He's such a good actor. He seems like a really cool dude. Would he smoke a blunt with me? Probably not, but if I could, I would, And then, I know it was an odd choice, but, I went there. And then, last but not least, I think, just pulling him off the top of my head, I wouldn't say this is the absolute next choice, but if he was still alive today, Chris Farley.
Good one.
Just because I was thinking who made me laugh a lot growing up, and but then who unfortunately passed. You know what? That he'd be cool to smoke with. For the fuck of it. It'd be a fun time. There you go.
That's a good group.
It's all right.
Chris Farley for sure.
It'd be fun.
His fat guy in a little coat.
Yeah.
That's the classic.
It would have to be also, and speaking of Bryan Cranston, he would have to be dressed as Walter White, too. I'd have to be smoking a blunt with Walter White. Yeah.
So him in his underwear and a white tee?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do episode 1, Walter White, before he broke bad.
Okay.
Right? Underwear, plaid shirt, glasses, his hair's still on his head. He doesn't know what he's doing, Walter White. Yeah, let's do that. That's the one I'm going to smoke with. Right? Fuck Heisenberg. I wasn't even on his team by the end of the show. So
he was way too hardcore.
Yeah, he lost in the sauce. But.
Yeah, like, man, you survived cancer. You ain't supposed to be like that, bro.
Right.
More like Tuco.
You said what?
Yeah.
More like Tuco.
Yeah, right. Like he was like, yeah, he thought he was big boss shit. But
oh my bad. Are we giving too much away? Do we got to add a spoiler alert to this now?
You may have, but
for what?
6 years.
Oh.
Breaking Bad.
Watch Better Call Saul if you haven't. It is brilliant.
I still haven't seen that.
So good, bro.
Which one?
I would say it's Better Call Saul.
Oh, yeah.
I would say it. Obviously, Breaking Bad's the original. It's the OG. It will always be my favorite. But Better Call Saul, in terms of the craftsmanship, I think is better, right? Because they learn so much from Breaking Bad. It's like Breaking Bad 2.0, even though it's a prequel, right? It's just the everything that goes in that show is fucking amazing. Like,
Slippin' Jimmy's a really good character.
yeah, really good. So, just saying, check it out. It's on the last season right now. So,
What?
yeah, they got 4 episodes left.
Oh, Better Call Saul.
Better Call Saul. Yeah.
Okay.
It's catching up. It's in Breaking Bad territory now. So,
Oh, that's what's up.
What network?
it's on AMC.
Oh.
Now, here's a little trick. If you have NordVPN or even those VPN things, you can just switch your IP address to Great Britain, jump on Netflix, and you can watch the live Better Call Saul new episodes on Netflix.
There you go.
But it's only in Great Britain, so
Great tip.
that's what I do, though.
You might have to,
Cable.
I would say that for way too too.
Great Britain for a little bit, you know?
Yeah.
Hey, it's legal. That's how they promote it. You can listen to podcasts like, oh, NordVPN. You can watch, Netflix Great Britain or Netflix Japan. Change your IP address. Well, yeah. So,
I like it.
yeah.
Well, I use Express, but it's like $50 a year. It's not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Express.
There's ExpressVPN. I use NordVPN, but there's different ones. Yeah.
There's hundreds.
Yeah, there's,
Okay.
yeah, right.
Hey, get closer.
Yeah.
Is that good?
Yes, it is.
It's like, damn, Tyler getting to his ASMR voice right
Yeah,
there.
you're right in my ear, bro.
Oh man. I might have to check it out.
Yeah, it's pretty tight. I enjoy it.
Yo, all right, this shit got me geeked for real though.
Yeah, I'm lit, man.
I ain't
That was
gonna
really
lie.
nice. No, it smoked good.
Yeah, shout out Builder Girl, yo.
Yeah. Pink Kush. I like the name, too.
That got me messed up last week.
It did.
I got lost in the parking lot again.
Oh
That is wild. How many times have you been here? You still getting lost?
After how many joints?
Yeah, right.
I guess I never considered that. I usually just stay here, so.
Yeah, there you go. Right. You have to walk far.
Yeah, that's true. Well, nah, usually I take everybody down, like, show them how to get out.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's just like,
It's crazy. That garage is like both buildings.
yeah.
That's wild.
Shout out to the parking attendant.
I think it's actually 3.
Oh, dang.
Because even the one over.
Really?
Yeah.
The labyrinth's down there.
Yeah, for real though. Like, what would you get ready to say?
I wouldn't have been able to find where to park if I didn't have those bomb-ass directions that are in the email.
Shout out K Valley.
Down in the valley where the girls get naked.
Dang. That's funny. Yeah, man. Those really helped. I was like, that's perfect. I was like, step by step. I was like, yep, there's the 4K. Go down, keep driving. Okay, blue sign. Perfect. I'm here. All right.
That's good.
Yeah, usually it works like a charm. Yo, for real though, I want to talk about the Patreon. Thank you for everybody who's bought in so far. For the rest of y'all, we definitely appreciate y'all signing up when y'all do. We definitely got more content coming for y'all. We already put out quite a few videos already, so make sure y'all go check them out, look at them. We should be putting out some clips soon. I gotta get on that. Like, I gotta start looking at the videos. I looked at them, but you know what I did last time I looked at them? I smoked beforehand. So now I think I gotta actually be diligent and not smoke before the video, because I didn't take no notes down. I was just looking like, oh yeah, that's a good one. And I'd be like, all right, I'll go back and look at it in a minute. I just keep on going and not stop and like write it down.
Yeah, I learned that the hard way trying to edit the video.
I've stopped trusting myself to remember things. I set reminders for every single thing in my life.
Yeah.
If I don't, it's not happening.
I forget a lot of shit and I get called out on it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
I need to remember more, but editing's fun. That's for sure. I like editing stuff.
Yeah, you probably lose your mind in my process.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I definitely had my own weird process, but yeah, it was fun learning, like just to mess around, another art form.
Yeah. This dude over here, he be doing all types of shit with the camera work and all that.
It's fun, man. It's fun learning all about all that. Like, he told me that's a black magic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's tight.
Yeah, I learned. I built out, I spent a bunch of time building my own shit, just thinking I could kind of teach myself, which I did. I, made it functional.
Right.
But it didn't look good. and it took me forever. And then I hired somebody who knew what they were doing, and it was like so quick, so good. I was like, wow, I will never try to do that myself again.
That's a very producer mindset. Figure it out in post.
Yeah.
Well, you know, hey.
It's best suited to the people who know how. Hey, there's certain things I'll do better, you know, but that's not one of them.
Gotta leave it to the lackeys.
No.
Hey, go ahead. Nah, for real though, y'all need to come up with a name for I guess, well, since there is a separation, I guess, between me and y'all, I guess they should come up with a name for y'all, or am I including this as well? I'm not sure.
I didn't hear that. I think that's still fucked up.
We socialized. I don't know. I was about to post an answer actually on the.
You should. I think I need to put that on the 2T3rp. I think I just put it on mine. I need to put it on the 2T3rp too. Yeah.
So what would be the 2T3rp crew?
I think everybody has their own name.
Yeah.
That's the only way I see it going.
Sounds very unionized already.
Woo-wee. I ain't even made no money yet. Shit. I'm in trouble.
Well, that was very interesting. I had no idea what to expect, so all I knew was the name, and then I looked at the page, and then had like a 2-second or 1 minute summary by Donovan, and so I wasn't sure exactly what I was walking into, but that was very interesting.
Right on. I appreciate that. Yeah, I definitely try to keep it interesting with this shit because it's hard to be original nowadays. You know, so many people are doing so many different things that to come up with this new idea, it's hard. So
Yeah.
yeah, if I hear somebody be interested in it, I'm like, sweet, I'm doing something right.
Oh yeah,
Right.
Sure. I've always thought this was dope.
Something, that's for sure. We'll see how this contest does. But again, it's all fun and games, you know.
So how can people like vote for you? I think you were saying that when I walked away.
So this one it's no voting. It's mainly just viewer engagement.
Okay.
So once it's posted out on all my socials, I'll link it, to for like a whole month, just trying to promote it. But yeah, you'll just go there. You will have to sign up to actually like interact, but it's free on Webtoon. And then you'll be on Webtoon. You can look at other comics. There's some really good ones on there. But
Fuck that.
yeah, right. Check out Roaches, Paul Yamoto.
The horror ones are really dope.
Yeah,
He's
it's
the
pretty
what?
cool.
The horror ones.
Yeah, there's some good horror ones and some good action ones. Romance is like the biggest thing on there. People love the romance comics, but hey, it's cool though. Regardless, the contest, I'll post the link. You just go on there. It'll take you straight to my entry. To interact, you just go on there and read it, like it, give it a little heart, and then leave a comment. I mean, even if the comment's just like, this was dope, or, whatever. Viewer engagement, that's 40% of the judging process. So.
Cool.
Yep.
I'm gonna check it out.
And you can see a little preview. I posted it today. The opening sequence of the entry is out. You can read it as I scroll through it.
I did see that right before we started. Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to figure out a way. How can I bring like a sneak peek on here or something?
I thought about posting it before this, but now that we did the trailer, I'm gonna go ahead and post it after we finish wrapping up. Right, as a matter of fact. Yeah.
I appreciate it. Right on, man.
Yeah.
Cool. Sounds good to me.
Yeah, man. It's looking good.
I appreciate you, man. Yeah. It's like I said, a lot of work, but yeah, man. I think it looks pretty smooth. You know what I'm saying? I'm proud of myself. I'm like, oh, sweet. This is pretty cool.
Hell yeah.
It's a good feeling.
Yeah, it is definitely.
All right, let them know your socials.
All right, so Instagram at PanNerdia, PanNerdia. Same with Twitter, Twitch, TikTok, PanNerdia. Twitch, you actually have to do the whole little thing, twitch.tv/PanNerdia. And then YouTube, you just got to search it. I don't have like a big enough channel to where I have my own URL. Just go to YouTube, search PanNerdia, you'll find the channel. So, yeah. You'll see the link. So.
Right on. I'm glad to be back. You can find us at Grow Gear in St. Louis, South City, Lindenwood Park neighborhood, and Grow Gear STL on all socials.
Oh, I could actually chime in on this.
Ain't that wild, Joe?
You have a landing page.
You can
Nice.
find me on the IG as I realize all my exes are doing better than me.
Instagram has a great mute feature. Like, you don't have to,
That's just hot take.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a dog now?
His,
Clean my apartment in 2
that's
weeks.
right. Let them know you was being modest. That's right. Let them know. Nah, I'm shitting all over y'all. I'm just not gonna show it yet. Just wait. The build up is coming. I might be an egg right now, but
Post open mic when I don't have any filter.
so you'll be a big cock in no time.
With this microphone, it makes it easier.
His profile picture is a great rendition of his real self. You gotta check it out.
Yeah, definitely check it out. For sure.
No socials tea.
Really? Oh yeah, did you say it? Did you just say it?
I don't think he said it. Did you?
I said it.
He said it at the beginning.
Okay.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah. No socials tea, just in case y'all forgot.
Yeah.
AKA Tyler Farquaad. I love calling you that. The backstory to that is so amazing.
Oh,
Check
haven't
out by
heard it
signing
yet.
up with Patreon.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
There you go.
Yeah. Actually, we haven't released those. We haven't released that tier yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we got to build up a couple.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they're coming very soon, though. Yeah.
Captain Mo Green just talk shit on everybody.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I was a little ignorant myself. So, apologies. I think the next episode I'll go ahead and reveal something about myself. Since you were so vulnerable, I'll go ahead and be,
I think that was vulnerable. I think that was borderline illegal.
I think it was way past borderline. I think we jumped over that bitch. Like,
Hey, and that's why the Patreon's there, right?
exactly. Because if you're gonna cancel us, like Elliot, what's his name? Elliot Davis says, you paid for it.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
That's funny.
But yo, you can follow us. No, don't forget to follow the boy Ryan Risky Fargo on all social media platforms. Or is it? I think is it Risky Fargo now? I think
Yeah, I think he. Yeah.
I think he changes to Risky Fargo. So make sure you follow Risky Fargo. Make sure you follow Flucker. Make sure you follow 2T3rpd on Instagram. Make sure you follow 2T3rpd on YouTube. Make sure you hit up and subscribe to that Patreon. Then also hit up our hotline with those text and voicemails, 314-399-9711. And don't forget to follow me, Donovan 2408, on all social media platforms. All right, y'all. It's been a good one.
It's been a really good one.
Yeah.
Oh, can I plug one more thing?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just because I don't even know how I fucking forgot this. PanNerdia.com.
Okay.
You can find all my art for sale over there if you want some prints or original piece.
Hell
I
yeah.
was like, what the fuck?
No, you good. Hey,
I was
all
like, I
good.
cannot believe I forgot that.
PanNerdia all across the board.
Yep.
I'll make sure to add it into the description, too.
Right on. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. Nice. This is a lot of fun, guys.
No, I
I had a
appreciate
really
it.
good time. I appreciate you. So
Hell yeah.
thanks for having me on.
You already know. This won't be the last time.
Hell
When
yeah,
you win,
man.
we got to have you back on.
Yeah, I'm down, man. Yeah, so I can lay some sick rhymes again, you know?
Hell yeah.
I got to keep that title now or whatever.
Fuck yeah.
We've had a couple now. We've got a little,
Yeah,
there's been a few.
yeah,
Nice.
I'd have to, Piff's up there.
yeah. I feel like between you and Piff now, like,
Sweet.
I if I'm be honest though, I'm be honest to your face though. I feel like Piff got it though. Like,
Hey, that's fine with me.
I feel like you run her up though. Like,
I'll take it.
yeah. I feel like Piff like came like prepared. Like he came with the whole entourage and everything. So it was like the whole element that he brought to it. It was like it was a little. I was
That's
like, damn. He had professional joint rollers.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
That's pretty tight.
Yeah,
Hey, some good joints then.
that's what I'm saying. So like, hey man,
It's a different level.
next time you know.
Next time I'll have to.
Like I say, you know what time it is. You know.
Yeah, right.
That's funny.
Hell yeah. All right, shit. Let's get out of here, y'all. All right, it's been another episode of the 2T3rpd podcast. Hold on. Oh. Peace.
It's 2 2 2 Terp.